Well, judging by the quality of the return video, we should be going live. Yep, we're live.
Yay!
Yep.
Here we are, back from the dead! Actually, we did that experiment in high school science with marshmallows instead of hot dogs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Space Portugal. Not falling behind for once.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say
Yeah.
tacos.
No. No, we use
no
marshmallows
taco
too.
flavored kisses for my Pedro.
Oh,
Taco.
There is a taco place up in the city. Pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, so they finally invented tacos in Portugal.
right.
Apparently they already had. I just lived in a place where they apparently hadn't made their way into yet.
For those of you confused about what we're talking about 2 years ago, we had a fairly lengthy debate about how apparently tacos did not exist in Portugal.
Yeah, and I remember Googling for it, and at the time there was like one place in the capital that made tacos that had a website.
We should have just took advantage of it. And it's like, all right, everyone be quiet, and we'll find a place and see what like a person in their late 20s, like actually experiencing their first taco, how they would describe their hard meat, crispy sandwich with veggies.
Well, I mean, like, we failed to capitalize on a massive business opportunity, right? We could have cornered the taco market in Portugal.
Oh yeah, man! Like
Yeah.
Polos. Look, what is it? Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Pollos Hermanos.
Yes.
Yeah, use it as a front for our cocaine ring. I mean, what? Hi, NSA.
LGC cares. Hey, welcome back to the Linux Gamecast weekly pre-shows, and for the interwebs, this is where we normally sit about, cock around for about 30 minutes in. We're gonna get into the business of giving the business, and business. It's pretty good this week. It's pretty good, Brad. Don't worry about it.
It's a surprisingly big amount of business considering it's PAX West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, most of it's going to be about the new iPhone, so.
Oh yeah, totally.
And how the removal of the 3.5 millimeter audio jack is the greatest thing in the history of
Oh
technology.
no! I know why they use the tagline "courage" to get rid of it. It's because their AirPods thingies, they kind of look like testicles if you hang them upside down. So that's where the courage is. It's the balls.
Somewhere between his brain and his mouth organ, that made sense.
Yeah, I mean, like at some point there was a point in there, but that is long past.
Look, well, we have educational things. Join us in IRC, chat realm, where we've already learned in Tanzania.
Taco means ass.
Yes.
which is not too different from the Spanish translation.
Jordan,
but,
get a hold of the Canadian government and get us an education grant.
Yes. I will do that.
Do it.
I mean, like, with some of the education grants, you basically can, pay, like, the government pays for student labor and you get free work. Yeah. That's how they incentivize, like, internships and co-ops.
Oh, I like that term. Student athletes.
Athletes.
Yes.
In Australia, they pay you like if you want to basically make a career out of being a student. They pay you for that.
Don't they
there's
also
something
pay you
more
for, like,
to it.
crawling into the pouch of a kangaroo and riding it around?
I know there's more to it. There's like more requirements that you need to do than just that. But yeah, that's basically what they do.
Yeah, in America, if you want to do that, you just need to be a rich kid.
Yeah.
Or be in crippling debt for the rest of your life because even as a tenured professor. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not pulling in that good of money.
Yeah, no, I paid my tuition out of pocket, finished my master's degree out of pocket, didn't ask for loans, didn't ask for anything.
Man whoring. It gets education done.
Basically, working part time all throughout the damn thing.
I have a friend whose mom stripped her way through med school. It's totally a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I crack skulls.
Listen, you gotta make money where there is money.
Amen. Do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta cook, Jesse.
Cook. Oh, not me.
Jesse was the only one left alive after all of that. And the statute of limitations on breaking up bad spoilers has long since expired, so fuck you. Jesse survives.
Yeah, he drives off into Need for Speed. That's exactly what
Yeah,
happened.
it totally does. It doesn't say bitch anymore, though.
Bitch.
Bitch.
You bitch.
Oh, somebody did that at Comic-Con. A young lass came as Scary Terry.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Or after some scary coitus, he's gonna go to sleep. And that's when we're gonna incept him, Morty. I like to imagine that Rick and Morty like stayed and watched for the entire thing, including the fucking coitus.
Yeah, probably. Bitch.
Bitch.
Jesse Ventura is the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh shit, that was Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
Oh, that didn't click before.
Oh.
Mr. the Body, the former governor of Minnesota, now guest starring on Rick and Morty.
Former Navy SEAL.
Yeah. Former that one guy from Predator.
Hey, man. I was like, hey, he's multifaceted. I want him on my zombie squad. You know, he can kill people and keep me entertained with stories and shit. Yeah.
Pretty much, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, wrestling in the 80s probably has some really good behind-the-scenes stories.
Yeah, that dude could probably bury you under any fucking drug you think you mastered, man. It's like, shit.
Yeah, that entire division was just fueled by cocaine.
I kind of lost track of what Chatroom was saying.
Oh, it was bad news. They canceled Dennis Leary's show that he was doing on FX.
Rescue Me?
I don't know what the fuck it was. I just saw a great little comment, and somebody was like, well, most of the kids don't know who Bill Hicks is. He could try that routine again.
Nah.
Ooh.
Because I don't have to be anywhere atomic ass, and I figured I'd grow it out and try it.
Do you think that's bad? You should see his legs. He just let himself go, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow or Monday morning, I'm gonna have to shave
Your legs?
side bits.
It's just something Nori randomly
likes them
demands.
smooth.
She's
Yeah.
just like, leg day.
No,
It's
no,
like,
because
oh.
I'm actually going back to the office on Monday. Because, yeah, this was my last week of vacations. For now. Maybe I can get another week or so by Christmas, hopefully. Yeah.
Yes.
Jordan's on semi-permanent vacation right now.
Jordan's hopped up on pain meds, Atomic, so it might take him a while to process.
You know, I'm really, it's fucking Advil, man. I'm fine. If I need to break out the stronger stuff, you'll know that right away. Which I may have to break out the stronger stuff later.
Aw.
Hi, NSA.
Sorry, Atomic. Jordan's not going to show you, man. Well, I was going to eat dinner this evening.
Now you have to go masturbate furiously for a few hours.
I'm just going to punch lettuce and go to bed.
Well, welcome to Minecraft. That's basically what you do.
You punch lettuce, you pick it up. Yeah.
Right.
And then you go to bed.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you can vote on show titles while we're doing the show.
Yeah.
Yes. If
Okay,
we
yeah,
say
Banks is
something
just set
really,
up.
really racist, make sure the bank suggests it.
Yep.
Those damn Laotians.
Sticking in there like a hair on a biscuit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, if you're gonna be racist, you gotta be racist against, like, super obscure ethnicities.
How would one be racist against the Portuguese, though?
It's really easy. We do it every week.
That's me
Go.
specifically. I'm not a good example.
What are you, too brown?
Well, no, you're about the typical Portuguese person, so I think that sticks.
I am? Because the
Yes.
typical Portuguese person does not speak anywhere near as close as much English as I do. And
As
I mean-
close as much, yes.
Does not speak as near as close
I mean,
as
case
much
and fuck
English.
mothering point, right?
The average Portuguese person would have just went K.
Yo quero Taco Bell.
It would be something more along the lines of "Epá, não falo inglês."
K.
Yes.
Oh, a port of seagulls. They're portmen.
Yes.
Well, we've
Port
established
They're port
Port
people.
people. Right.
They're from Portland.
Portland. Oh man, there's a reality show, bitches. Portlandia. Except it's
Oh yeah, no. You stick a bunch of people from Portland and a bunch of people from Portugal in a room and see who survives. That's a reality show.
Well, it's been 2
it'll be like a
LGC
hot or not
episodes
type
now.
thing. It'll be hipster or Portuguese. You got to guess. Like in 10.
Yeah, you can't tell the difference based on all the facial hair. And the shitty tattoos.
Again, not a very good example. But yeah, no, I recognize that I probably don't know how to make fun of Portuguese people because I'm biased.
I know how to make fun of Canadians. That's no excuse.
Or maybe I just don't care enough about other Portuguese people to learn.
Yeah, you know those lazy, ignorant Portuguese, right?
LGC cares.
It's like one thing I do notice, at least in my circle of friends and the people that hang around them, bunch of self-deprecating assholes.
I don't know. The way you described your circle of friends sounds like there's a circle of friends and there's a bunch of people stalking them. The ones that.
It's like friends of friends that I don't really relate to, so I just say that they're the people they hang
I
with.
pulled up into the grocery the other day and I always kind of parked back because, I finally bought a car that wasn't older than me, right? So I was like, boom, and I'm like walking by and there's a guy in a large truck, like looking out like across the parking lot, way across the way. With like binoculars. I was in a fucking hurry, man. I wanted to be like, hey man, what are you looking at? Just to fucking figure it out, right? That's still bugging me, like, right? And I was like, what was he looking at?
Yeah, no, and like you cut across the street and it's still that same guy peering through the window of Ben's house. with the binoculars.
It's just like the evil monkey for Family Guy. Just like open my blinds and he's across the road, just like.
Exactly. Like, well, that answers that question. Okay, I'm gonna go move. See you in a bit.
Right, I'll be back in a minute. I gotta go move.
Oh, wait, I just remembered something. There is something that other countries used to make fun of Portuguese people for, specifically Portuguese women, because they were very hairy and
They
short.
look like you, Pedro. That's why we make that mistake all the time.
Wait a minute. Snooki's Portuguese?
Apparently.
I thought Snooki was like the same sort of river folk that Gollum originally was.
An oral humidifier.
I now know what a snooki is, unfortunately.
Oral humidifier is Kim Kardashian, man.
Yes, Truggy, I'm still in the V-dub. I do like,
German engineering, yeah.
Yeah. Again, I think one of the first cars I've ever owned that I don't have to do anything except like get in and I feel confident that it's going to start.
I mean,
German cars,
given
that's
Ben's
probably
track
a
record,
good idea.
given Ben's automotive track record, I think he's just happy he can go into a car, turn the key in the ignition, and not have it explode.
Yeah, a little bit of that. There's
Oh,
definitely,
look, it's not on fire.
It's like, hey, don't I don't need the fire extinguisher in this car, but it's just kind of a habit these days. It's a comfort. It's like a touchstone to have that in the passenger seat.
After a while with the Pantera, you just get used to your car trying to murder you.
I do have one of those teeny tiny extinguishers in the Mazda, but it goes in the glove box and it never leaves.
I thought you were going to say invisible dicks, but all right.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you hit that 88 miles an hour, you start seeing some serious shit, right?
It's a Mazda, not a DeLorean.
Oh, so you said it won't do 88. All right, noted.
No, it does. Well, let's see.
It
does.
I like that one DeLorean joke from American Dad where it's like, yeah, when you hit 88 miles an hour in this, you're gonna see some serious shit. Why? Because it's not designed to go any faster than that.
The Mazda, the highest I've clocked it, if I'm not butchering the conversion at any point, was 120
There's probably some
miles
web
an hour.
utility to stop you from butchering the conversion, right?
It was 120 miles an hour or 190 kilometers an hour.
Fourth gear.
Yeah. Fifth. Fifth, and it was coming close to the 6,000 RPMs. It's not meant to go fast. It's just a responsible car that doesn't drink a lot of gas.
One thing I like about Turbojet is even it's a
It's a
6-speed,
turbocharger.
and the way it's geared though, because I mean, because 6 gear is just like overdrive. You can cruise all day at 70, and it's doing like 1,800 RPMs. It's like, meh. Turbojet, I don't give a damn. It just wants an autobahn. Autobahn. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not an MX-5 truggy. It's a Mazda 2.
It would
Responsible, cheap. I also paid for that one, like, money up front, out of pocket, so...
had his heart set on a pink Miata, but nope.
Yeah, I was gonna say he probably has a pink Miata and he's just trying to cover his ass. Sprinkle enough truth in it to make it plausible.
Before I bought that one, I was looking at the smart roadsters. You know, the smart brand of cars. They have the Mercedes engines.
A little 3-cylinder thing
Yeah.
behind it. Yeah, it is. Like,
And it's the roadster version of that, which, if I walk up to one of those, the top of the roof is about... It's about the height of my waist.
yeah,
So
no, man, I do miss, like, it was like, I think the lowest car was like my 944, but it was maybe like that far below my belt buckle.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons, because I started to think about the back pain of getting in and out the car the whole damn time. So, no, let's just get something...
You see, Pedro, when you buy a low car, don't buy a reliable one. You never have to worry about it. It's a trip to the store, maybe a trip back, show it off, and you're like, all right, we'll work on it next week.
Don't talk to me about back pain, Pedro.
It was exactly because of that I mentioned the back pain. Yes.
Back like scoliosis. Oh,
You've been quiet. I need to get a rile out of you somehow.
Yeah, most of my energy is directed at like staying upright.
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to need you to get some sticks and some plates then.
Yeah.
Be great, man. I'll send you some hue lights and just let me control them from here, man. It'll be its own show.
Yeah.
The aristocrats.
Ah.
Ah.
All right. I'm going to grab a quick smoke. I'll be back.
Yeah, we'll get started in just a minute then.
Cool.
S2000s are neat little cars. I love the fact that they're sports cars. Like, oh, Honda made a sports car. And Civic owners are just like, but they don't watch the show, so I don't care.
Yeah, you can't watch the show if you own a Civic.
A car you can trust.
Yeah. Unless you're Civic and you're driving a Civic, in which case it's all good. How long does it take for a game to be cheap on Steam? About as long as your mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just salt that level to taste. All right. A VTech Classic Mini? Oh, VTech, that thing that... Oh, yeah. What had that first? I think the 944S2 was the first car when Porsche invented the technology. It was called variable valve timing. It didn't fit on a sticker. It was practical.
And then Gabe Newell invented something very similar. Did that hurt? I hope it did.
Good. Let's see. Pedro got a nice new pink handbag, it looks like.
Yeah. I mean, it stores all his feminine hygiene products.
Not his razors, apparently.
Uh,
We need some sports water, man. I have still not finished that.
the 100 proof.
Yeah, the 100 proof sports water from last week. I'm still working on that.
Have you been cutting it with the slightly weaker vodka?
Actually, I just switched back to the slightly weaker vodka. I was like, yeah, this is a good sipping vodka.
Good man. Good man.
You might get some echo back from me in a second. Let me know.
All right.
Okay.
No, nothing.
No?
No, nothing. Sounds fun.
Blam.
Of course. Just at about that time, I realized that this wasn't a mixer I was messing around with, but a 300-foot tall crustacean from the Mazoka area. And I said, God damn it, Loch Ness Monster, I'm giving you no nipple twitty.
Oh, have you fucked around in your advanced settings to make sure you don't have auto gain control cut on?
Let me double check that. Speed me desktop. I turned it off the last time. I don't know if those settings persist, though.
I don't know either.
Where is this?
It's not changing anything on this end, but I can...
Enable experiments. Experimental noise suppression is off.
How about AGC?
AGC is on. Turn
Okay,
it off.
disable AGC. That's auto gain control.
Alright, cool. It's off.
Okay. Yes, chat room. If you can put 2 and 13 together, Jordan is not on the Skype. We are trying something different.
Yes, let's see how that works out.
Yeah.
That sweet, sweet back pain.
Ah,
The moral of the
What? Go ahead.
what were you gonna say? I was just gonna say the moral of the story is make sure you're very loose when you're doing kettlebell swings.
I don't do like very wide. I kind of keep mine tight because I use it for the sides.
Yeah, I do like the full range of motion thing. Yeah, I'm working on building strength so I can start doing like more Turkish get-ups.
Okay.
Yeah, these days I'm just doing clean and jerks, squats, kettlebell swings. What's the other one? Overhead presses and Cossack squats.
Okay, in order. Mir, a head of lettuce. What are you going to do with just half a salad? Atomic, peanut butter. No. Cinnamon. Yeah. Replace that with cayenne pepper. Stone ground mustard. Fucking awesome.
Sun ground mustard is pretty good.
Stone
love
ground mustard
cinnamon.
is when Ven makes his own mustard.
Used to be my stage name, man.
Yeah. They used to call me
Yeah.
Old Man Snow Ground Mustard.
Yeah.
Because I'm spicy. I clear
And
your
now,
sinuses.
bringing their hot new hit, stone ground mustard.
Hanson.
blah. I want to hear the Bill Cosby version of bop.
Bop.
we could, man, that put a dark twist on the Cosby. Remember the Jello?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good times.
Yeah. Or Cosby Bebop.
The Cosby intervention. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm
Oh,
gonna grab things.
Scott
and be back in a
retweeted
moment
my
to, kick this off.
thing that the show went live. Thanks for that, Scott. Much appreciated. All right. Hops. No, I think Henson was a little before the whole craft beer explosion thingy.
They're still around, actually.
Why?
No, apparently they like completely redid their image. They're now an indie band.
That's just the new pop, though. Everything is indie nowadays.
Truggy, the issue is that this injury occurred about 6 hours ago, so I have not had time to go seek medical attention.
What were you doing exactly?
Kettlebell swings.
Oh. Yeah.
Exercise sustained injury. It happens. That'll show me
See,
for trying to be
kids?
healthy.
See, kids? This is why I don't exercise. You're just gonna hurt yourself. So you can trade in your Dreamcast? Yeah, Jordan's no Marilyn Manson.
Listen,
And thanks to
listen,
MT.
listen, the atomic ass. We've been over this. If any of us had the ability to suck our own dicks, we wouldn't be here because we'd be too busy sucking our own dicks.
And
That's the endgame scenario, man.
and thanks to MT, we know that I'd make a pretty good Marilyn Manson. Yeah, Rocket League's pretty good. They
I
need
do-
to
I do
fix all
Kegel
the crashes and the
exercises.
freezes, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I do Kegel exercises, and y'all should too.
I hate having my hair at this length because it's neither short nor long. It's just annoying.
Sandy's all right. He's going through some stuff, so we're giving him space.
Yeah.
But he's still rocking on.
Oh, Linux Nero. No, I wouldn't.
If you want Pedro in your threesome, seek psychological help.
Probably the best course of action, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of surprised I managed to find a girl who not only puts up with me, but she actually agreed that we move in together. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, slave labor is a mighty incentive.
Okay.
Well, since I am the one who spends the most time around the house, I end up doing most of the chores, yeah.
It was going to be that way.
Especially in that French maid outfit, right?
Jordan, give me an audio check level.
Check, 1, 2. I'm talking at a reasonable volume. This is probably what I'm going to be speaking at for most of the episode. Unless I get really excited!
Seems legit.
Alright.
Yes.
All right. Swoogity, swoogity.
Mega Bliss. The answer to that is always cocaine. And cocaine
And it's on
accessories.
weekends.
Well, yeah, it's a weekend. So.
Yeah. So yeah, Sundays for me are just a big nope day.
But again, it's not like. This is,
Yeah, my work actually allows me to work from home most of the time, so I'm not complaining.
yeah, I was going to say it's he would be up anyway. At least he's making some use of the time.
Yeah. Check his G plus activity. This is fairly normal for him.
Yeah. And those nights that one of the servers decides to crap itself and I have to fix it before like 8 a.m., which is when clients start arriving at their companies. Yeah.
See, yeah, that would be pretty good, Strider. That would be our ever elusive like 7-minute episode. Jeez.
Yeah.
All right. And welcome back to another Linux Gamecast Weekly, the show that covers the latest Linux gaming news, reviews, how-tos, and most importantly, whatever the hell else we come up with. This week, Nintendo has canceled Metroid. No, not that one, but the good one. And Ark calls its player base cheap for not buying their early access DLC.
Besiege reaches another milestone, but that 1.0 is far away on a distant shore, and Tomb Raider gets another remake, but Farrell's not involved with this one.
Rocket League is officially in beta on Linux. Super disappointed pigs didn't sprout wings and took to the skies on Thursday. And having recouped all of the Pascal R&D money, NVIDIA is finally ready to bring the low end some love.
I'm Ben Stone here at LGC Actual, switching all the bits, doing this nightmare fuel all under the Linux. Joined every week by our slightly injured, tamed Canadian podcaster, Master Sven.
Ow.
He's especially tame this week.
And that voice, all the way from Space Portugal, Pedro
Hello.
Mateus. Joined by Chat Realm, live in the IRC, helping us form that special little bit we like to call Cocaine Voltron. Before we get started, let's see what's going on in each other's life organs real quick before we jump into the steamy news. Here, Sunday, caught the tail end of Dragon Con. It didn't smell that bad. That was definitely a thing, and I finished watching Colony, which was like the weirdest episodes of Lost I've ever seen. What's up, Jay Baby?
Yeah, so a couple things. Ven recommended a show for me last week that I could not remember for the life of me. I did remember that it had to do with British people, and it had the word Mr. in there. So lo and behold, I Google search British show Mr. something, and the first result was that. So I know Ven got a kick out of that. Also, I done fucked up my back today, so I am in a whack ton of pain. So this is gonna be a fun episode. Oh.
Me, I'm just, basically wrapping up my 2 weeks vacation. And yeah, I'll be back to work on Monday.
Well, let's get right to work on the horse, J-Man.
Yeah, the horse is giving us some interesting sales figures. It's the Steam
Update!
Oh man, how long does it take games to be cheap on Steam? Well, everyone collectively is going, well, it depends on how bad I want to play it and how much money I currently have, because it could be a very long time if those two are a bit out of whack. Coming from PC Gamer, they've kind of broke it down to determine how quickly most games hit $33.50 and the ever-elusive 75% off. And, well, you know, you do have your AAA games. They're going to get their 50% discount in the average of, about 7 months on that business. Good indie games, or indie games that have a buck ton of hype behind them, usually hang on for about 9.2 months before getting with the cheapness. Jordan, you got some thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, it more or less confirms what we already know. They do like a big breakdown based on 2014, 2015, and what little data they have available for 2016. But it's basically when a game comes out, you gotta, if you want to pick it up for dirt cheap, you probably have to wait for the next, not the upcoming seasonal sale, but the next one. But one thing I did notice reading through this is a lot of this doesn't really inform Linux sales, considering that when games come out on Linux, or at least bigger games come out on Linux, they get immediately discounted because they're already about a year or two old.
Yeah, that's the big thing. So we'll have to wait and see if SteamOS ever gets the day one support from the AAA publishers. Looking at you, Square Enix.
It's totally
Pretty
coming for
please.
Street Fighter, you guys, right? Right?
I don't trust
Right.
Capcom.
I don't know. And for everything else, with procrastinators such as myself, there's Humble Bundle. Eventually they might show up. But speaking about things that should be on better sale,
Oh, it actually showed up, all right. It's Rocket League. It's the new Rumble update, as they call it. It brings a new mode to all those Windows playing people that have had the chance to play the game for the past 2 years, while us on Linux have been sitting on our asses with our thumbs up our buttholes and waiting, just waiting. But they finally, with this new Rumble update, brought the Linux and Mac versions out in beta form, as it were. And you can actually, there was an issue that if you got the game with the Steam controller bundle, you couldn't download the game at first. They eventually fixed it after a couple of hours. But for just about everyone else, the game works ish on my end. Two things that I've discovered so far don't really seem to work, which is anti-aliasing. I just can't get it. I can get some manner of FXAA if I force it through the NVIDIA drivers, and disabling the FERPS limiter because it's constantly stuck at 60. It goes up to 62 every now and again, and then it comes back down to 60. Yeah, so that said, it launched out of the box for me. The controllers worked. I tried with the Mistress on the Steam box and with the Logitech F310 on this box right here. They work. They were sensibly mapped. The performance on the Steam box was exactly the same as the one on this one. It freezes on me when a match ends, and if I hit save replay, it just freezes. If I hit vote to rematch, it crashes, period. Just crash to the desktop. And there's a lot of people using Fedora or some other distros that can't seem to connect to online games because it says that the servers are always offline when they're actually not. That is because they hard-coded the path to the CA certificate bundle on a distribution. So if you're not using SteamOS or Debian or Ubuntu, there'll be a little command in the show notes that you can run, which I'm going to paste in ShetRealm Dynamic right now.
Everyone
just
spam
run
ShetRealm so that it gets washed away. Do it now.
You can just run that command right there, and it will symlink the Fedora CA bundle to the CA certificate CRT. That is the file that the game is actually looking for. Because if you don't,
I mean,
you can't play online.
That just seems kind of dumb to me, because why do you have to hardcode paths? With most OpenSSL libraries, it'll default to like a system path that you can just use unless you want
there was another game that did this. It was Shadow of Mordor. If you tried
for
to
the
use
online
the
stats,
online
was it?
features.
Or-
Yeah, if you tried to access WB Play, it would always complain that you weren't old enough to connect because it couldn't actually check the certificate, and it just returned that error.
Listen, Pedro, you as a 30-year-old man need to get your parents' permission before you go online.
that's exactly how it is. I mean, it is out, and I looked at it, and I was like, yeah, because we talked, I believe it was last week. I was like, I think we're going to see exactly how long it took for me to go from, like, shut up and take all my money so I can play this to, it better be on good sale before I'd pick it up. Now, if Jordan or Pedro wants it, we just pick it up. But for me personally, right now, especially in beta, there's like 25% off. And they're like, how much did you get that game for with all the Humble Bundle games?
Oh yeah, I bought the entire bundle that it was included for $15,
Right.
which was actually what it was on sale.
So,
when it came out.
but we were talking before the show. I think like the real kicker is once it goes like half off or something like that, I'll definitely pick it up, or I might just lose my wheel power and all that fun stuff and buy it anyway. We'll see.
Wheel power, I get it.
Shut up. But I didn't get a bunch of invites. I was expecting on launch date, especially that night, especially during the day, because we have people in all different time zones, nobody hit me with it. So I was like, maybe what Maddie said was kind of right, Pedro. Maybe the hype has just died down, maybe a notch.
A little bit. There's certainly the original excitement when we got the announcement of, oh, hey, Rocket League is coming to Linux. That was awesome, and it certainly died down. But fact of the matter is, whenever you go in game, on Steam alone, there's like 40,000 concurrent players. If you add the Xbox and the PS4 versions, which you can actually crossplay between all systems, including Linux, you get like 200,000 people online at any point in time. Yeah, there's really no lack of players.
That's a lot of 12-year-olds. But let's talk about a brand new invention from the people who brought you Ark Survival Evolved. They now have early access DLC because instead of finishing the game that's currently in early access, they spent time to develop the DLC. Right. People had problems with this, and I think just possibly, maybe, it hurt their reviews a little bit, right?
Oh yeah, you like that dip in the chart?
What? No, man. That's...
I mean, look at that red bar.
That's totally not a bad thing, you guys. Red is good, right?
Here's what I think, man. I mean, I'm not hitting on this because this is the popular thing to just slam. This would go for anything because it's like, all right, DLC. Wouldn't technically you have to get the DLC greenlit before you could put it with your early access game?
No.
No?
Not the way Steam does it.
Ah.
You can have your game in early access, but if you're just releasing DLC for that game, or you have an approved publisher, then you don't need to go through Greenlight again.
So here's what I'm saying, Jordan. We release Brick Simulator in early access as a Game of the Year edition, initially.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Yeah?
Yeah, here's the stupidest thing about this is I wonder, based on like DLC and considering that Ark is an unstable platform as it is quote unquote in development, when is the update going to get pushed out that's going to break all the DLC and it's going to cause people a bunch of fucking headaches?
Well, I don't know. Shortly after the developers quit calling their customers idiots, right?
Listen, man. You gotta respect the fact that once that early access well runs dry, you gotta figure out some new ways to milk the cow.
And there's a little extra factor to take into account because there was, you may remember a while back, one of the developers in Ark Survival Evolved was found to be breaching a do not compete contract with the developers of that tower defense dungeon something.
Right.
Yeah. It's on Linux, but it hasn't been updated in years. There was also a big snafu about that. But
Dungeon Defenders, I think that's
Dungeon Defenders. Yes, it was. But yeah, he breached a do not compete contract with those guys, and basically the guys behind Ark Survival Evolved just decided to settle the lawsuit for $40 million. That's a hell of a lot of zeros.
So that explains the DLC right then and there, right?
Well, I mean, that's the cynical way of looking at it. It's like, hey, you know all those features we were about to launch into the early access thing? Yeah, about that.
We're going to have to charge you like $20 for it?
Yeah, seems legit.
But yeah, I'm still of the opinion that if you're releasing DLC, you don't get to pull the early access card anymore. Your game's done. It's finished. No, you want to release updates for it? Go right ahead.
I'm of the opinion that as long as your DLC is unfinished, you can sell it for your unfinished game.
Listen, it doesn't. I mean, I would say vote with your wallet, but both the DLC and Ark are still on the top sellers. So,
the DLC is number 1 and Ark is number 3 in the top sellers. So. No one cares.
Well, they voted with their wallet, and they voted yes.
Yes.
But speaking of.
Yeah, the guys at Black Forest Games have proven that they know how to Linux. Now, if you don't know who Black Forest is, give me a sec. This is Rogue Stormers. It was a game, it was released a while back, and now it has a Linux version. They put a big flashy banner saying Linux port, and a couple of other things with the new update. But if you check out who the fine folks at Black Forest Games are, they are the developers of Gianna Sisters. Yes. So now I ask, where is the Gianna Sisters port?
Listen, no one cares about Gianna Sisters. I mean, it's a game that's in the past, right? No one wants old games on Linux.
I don't know,
focus
man.
on new
I have to have another game to use as a whipping boy
That
now
is
that Rocket League is out.
genuinely like the one game because technically we had what was it, Limbo or something?
Vessel.
Yeah, Limbo.
Yeah, Limbo.
And Vessel. Vessel too, yeah, but Flippity.
You done? All right.
Fun. Yeah.
So, Limbo came out with a wine port initially. Port. Vessel just eventually got the native version. So, I mean, we have a complete set of, the Humble Bundles all being cross-platform except for that. And I don't know, are they playing the Carmageddon card of, people will forget if we just ignore it long enough?
Yeah, if we don't mention it anymore, maybe people will forget about it. But I have to have another game to use as a whipping boy now that Rocket League is basically out. It's a beta,
you can still shit on Overgrowth. It's fine. No one cares.
Well, Overgrowth, even in its alpha state, does support Linux. Gianna Sisters doesn't.
Yeah, even their alpha state. If you follow Pedro on the Twitters, you noticed earlier this week he was trying to pick a fight with the Distance developers, and they just weren't having it.
They're nice people. Damn it.
they're nice people, and I have to make their lives miserable because my life's miserable, and everyone has to be.
No, I just sent them the one tweet because they were promoting that game that looks like Wipeout, which isn't available on Linux. And I said, oh, it's a good thing it's not available on Linux, otherwise you'd have some competition and a reason to get out of early access already. And they were like,
also,
we're making progress, come on.
Also, Pedro, it's pronounced Wipeout. It's Minecraft for horrible people. Yeah, Besieged has a new update coming out. This is version 0.35. They've added 4 campaigns to the Isle of Tolbrand, and they have a new set of levels that are coming down the pipe. They've also they're also doing a lot of hot fixes because there's some issues. So it's good that they're keeping things up to date. But I mean, the early access train keeps marching on, and I really wish they would just slap a 1.0 on it, because you can totally release a game on Steam, have it be out of early access, and still continually update it. It's the Minecraft model. They slapped a 1.0 on it eventually, and they keep adding new shit all the time.
Hey, man, if it keeps making money, I mean, when I saw this update, every time they do an update, I was like, where are we going to go with this? But, they're like, yeah, man, we finished those last 4 campaign levels. Like, and we're going to start working on a new island and more additional content. And I was like, whatever.
It's very hard to get out of your safe space. And for Steam developers, that safe space is called early access because it basically invalidates in their minds anyway, it invalidates all the criticism that anyone can lever at them.
Yeah, and it's also very difficult to cut off that money spigot of that non-judgment money spigot. Because
yes.
Once you have to go from that to like a leaded to where the reviews really count. And you're like, yeah. I mean, it's a great game. Besiege is definitely one of those games that should have released a year ago when it had all the hype, and it would probably be massive and still played today by tens of adoring fans.
I mean, they just need to start releasing DLC for it. It's the obvious solution, right? But speaking of which. There's this game that I had never heard of before. This is called Armello, and they have a version available on Steam, and they have a version available on GOG. And the GOG consumers are a little upset because the DLC is currently available on Steam, but there is no plans to make it available on GOG, because apparently having an installer drop files into a directory requires a massive overhaul of their build infrastructure, which is just entirely infeasible. And oh no, I'm just fucking with you. They totally just don't want people to pirate their DLC and put it up on.
But they're going to feed you that bullshit anyway. And one of the comments on the GOG forums was like, "Oh, so you can't do it yet? Somehow the pirates that upload the pirated version have already figured out how to distribute your game DRM free with the DLC."
I mean, they figured that kind of stuff out back in, the late 90s, what with expansion packs and whatnot.
Yeah.
Right? You think this is a lost arcane art.
Definitely them walking out. And, I mean, they kind of said it. They're like, hey, they said it in fewer words. They're like, we don't want to continue development on the DRM-free version. You got the copy you paid for. It's a full game. The DLC. If you don't like that, you can get a refund. Not a big issue. And to address the thing of, well, what about Steam keys? They're like, here's how this is going to work. And it was kind of a brilliant way of doing it to prevent the flood of people with their special versions asking for keys. They said, if you want a Steam key, just refund it through GOG, take that money, put it in this thing called Steam, and it will give you a key. It's just like magic.
Magic. But but again, installers are a sort of black magic that these guys have yet to crack.
Yeah, they do. Like the entire diatribe that the dev or the PR person that dropped Trent Custers. Sorry, my bad. He, out of the entire post, there was one good point, which is if people are paying for a game on GOG is because they want it DRM free. So anyone who's saying, "Oh, you should give those unhappy GOG users a Steam key," no, you shouldn't, because if they bought it on GOG, it's because they don't want to deal with Steam. And at that point, if you just give them a Steam key and say, "Yeah, here you go here, you can get the DLC there," that's like slapping them across the face.
Yeah, at the end of the day, there's no clean way out of this. I mean, I would have just walked out and just been like, hey, if you buy all your games on GOG, you're used to this by now. Really, why are you picking on us?
I don't know. It just seems like a really silly, dumb non-issue that these guys are blowing up because they want to support multiple distribution platforms. But coming up next, we got some brand new NVIDIA drivers for once, and maybe NVIDIA will keep the low-end PC market for another however long it takes for AMD to pull their dicks out of their ass and come up with a decent product or drivers.
You're funny.
All right, Jordan, you want to take a look at your volume, because on your end you were cutting in. I mean, not cutting in and out, but your volume was going from normal to...
Really? It's not doing it in pulse. So it may be doing some like in-application stuff.
Okay, so you might want to give that client kill 9 and...
Yeah, I gotta do the webcam unplug replug thing. So
I know your webcam should already be initialized.
Maybe that's true. Let's give that a shot then. All right.
Remember the last time where you couldn't then hear the other person?
Okay. I gotta save things right now anyway. So.
Yeah, hammer on that 840 Evo.
Crunch. 212. WAV. Steve, I was going to say, yeah, right. His lungs are connected to his back. And I'm like, technically, if I was going to win that argument, they are.
Yeah.
Oh, Truggy, we have no voice. There's no audio. Have you heard how different we all sound?
Will we see the LGC crew more often in Steam community forums begging for link exports? No. If it's a game I really want and there isn't already a post made for it, I might start one. But if there is already a post for it, there's a bunch of people just saying +1, I will not even bother. I did that with Salt and Sanctuary, of all things. Because I went to their forums, I searched for Linux and got no results. Like, odd. It's a reasonably popular game.
Yeah, we're not getting audio back from you, Jordan, so...
Yeah, you need to kill the Jitsi window.
Then restart the client. While doing
and
a
unplug
handstand.
webcam. And while you're at it, sacrifice a goat to the sun gods.
Well.
Oh, and you might want to get out of the Hangout too, because that's also pinging your microphone. Assuming you can hear me, that is.
Yeah, he's still in the call.
Yeah.
Maybe you could type that to him. Wait, hang on. Can you hear us? Jordan, can you hear us?
Crickets. Jordan asks, "Can you hear me?" No.
No, tell him to plug, unplug, replug, goat. Screenshot Saturdays, ladies and gentlemen. Grab them. Mine's froze. You really shouldn't resort to begging. We've found here at LGC that kidnapping is far more effective.
That's the thing. At this point, we shouldn't be asking. Jordan says he's ready to go. We shouldn't be asking for Linux ports because
Oh, I'll ask for a Linux port. I'll be like, hey, what's up? How about that Linux port?
every developer that comes out on Steam probably knows about SteamOS. Just saying. And if they don't want to do it, it's because they don't want to do it.
Well, some people don't even know what the Linux is, man. Isn't that right, Jordan? Kill me. Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's a strange, bizarre moon world we live in. I have over 400 games on Steam right now. Like, 3, possibly 4 or 5 of them are worth playing, but... yeah. I wish, buddy. So, you're communicating with Jordan for me.
Yes. I'm waiting. I told him to kill Jitsi in the hangout, and he says, I know the drill, but he never left the hangout, so I had to tell him again, you need to kill the hangout too.
He probably forgot. Hey, come on.
Okay, now it's gone. Okay. It's gone. I think you can call him back. He says he's ready.
All right, how's it sounding now? We good?
Sounds like you.
All right.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Oh, hang on.
Hello.
Hello? No? Tell him to wait a bothering minute and let me make sure nothing weird happened over here.
Okay, I will wait. I will wait all the things.
How about now?
Can you hear me now? No.
It's on his end then.
Well, if you guys are saying stuff, was that maybe it?
I don't know.
Can you hear us now?
Nope, not it.
How about now? No?
Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, it's showing up here. It's just someone isn't.
You can talk.
Tell him I'll just pull him in New Skeep. I don't feel like fighting this thing right now.
Good times. I still need to go and grab my smoke. I'll wait for Jordan to be done.
Good idea. Let's try LS.
How do you manage to nuke Western Digital Black? That's not easy.
Like a boss, Pedro. Like a boss.
I mean, we were playing Rocket League just a couple hours ago. What the hell did you do in the meantime? Oh,
Okay.
the sounds on Skype.
Oh yeah, so many sounds. Y'all should be able to hear me now.
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you.
All right, good stuff. All right, back in the Jitsi room.
All right, Jordan's back. I'm gonna go grab a smoke. It can have. Otherwise, my YOLO raid would have been dead by now. Don't
All
tempt
right.
it.
Okay, now that we're all back and set up, I'm gonna go ice my back for a few minutes.
All right.
Or are we? Are you guys about ready to go? Because I can tough it out if we're about to kick into news.
No, we just spent that entire time reestablishing audio.
All right, cool. I'll be back.
So go stretch it out for a minute. We're going to take a break. Ladies and gentlemen. IO sectors. I don't know if I've ever had RAM that died. I'm going to be filling some air here until those two yahoos come back. Suggested a nudie run. Oh boy, this is going to be challenging. 68. Okay, I guess I should rephrase that, Atomic. Yes, I've had RAM that was just nope. I also somehow managed to shove a dim in backwards one time. Still haven't figured that one out. Nice little pop. Fortunately, it just nuked the RAM, the memory module itself. Sharon. Truggy, that's more impressive. I would have owned up to that. I was just out, like whatever it was back in the day. It had quit being retardedly expensive. It's like 30 pounds. Yes, Atomic, I believe that where it could kind of go in the other way, but, well, according to me, it can go in the other way, and you can make both the tabs go click, click. They should bring back the Sims. Those were always fun. Make them match paired again. I never had a problem with AT. I forget which. I think black facing each other, right on the inside. Was that it? Now the old school IDE drives before some genius decided to put a tab on those. Those were always fun putting in a new hard drive. It's like boot, nope, all right, flip, boot. There we go. Sims were great, man. Like even those little itsy bitsy screw you sims, like the old school ones that you had in like the 286 and 386. They look like half height sims. Yeah, things are too easy today. That's how I know I'm definitely approaching. Like, get off my lawn, like, legitimately. Which I'm glad people are building, especially kids are building new PCs, personal computers. Words. But you might take the complexity bragging down just a bit, because you can't really put one together wrong anymore. Punch cards. My mom still has... I don't know if she still has them. She had several programs on punch cards that she did. Sim as a key ring. That sounds very stabby. I was thinking about the downside. I posted a thing on our Facebook page. Because the Intel boards have the pins on the MOBO now, and somebody dropped their CPU on it and bent 40 or 50 pins, and I looked at that and I was like, yeah, I've unbent more pins than that. That's salvageable. Would definitely stuck with that. Genji, this is true, yet some people bring back dip switches. Get the sport back in it.
All right.
Well, if you leave me alone long enough, it will inevitably devolve into talking about dip switches.
So, is the Hangout just frozen, or haven't you changed the camera from the chat realm thingy?
Maybe it froze when Jordan derped.
All right. Well, stay in the Hangout. I'll rejoin. Yes. No.
No, it's not feeling it. All right, let me jump out and jump back in then.
Okay.
It was probably spread me. Or spread them, we're going to start calling it.
Spread your butt cheeks, why won't you?
It's like, oh, look, there's a virtual camera device. I'll have me some of that. Thank you. It's like, you're not allowed to have any what? Nom, 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 nom.
Nom, nom, nom.
Right. There.
Nom nom indeed.
Ah, there it is.
Okay,
All right.
virtual camera is active once more. All right.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. I gotta get back in the Hangout.
Yes, that is exactly what we were discussing.
Yeah, my.
He's his
Roommate's
gone.
dangling keys.
No, I was getting feedback from Jitsi because you know how that works. Indeed.
Well, Ven didn't mute himself in the Hangout, so you can see the little green dots coming up.
Yep.
Working on it.
There it is.
Yay. Alright. You know, the worst part is, like, the shooting pain down my legs.
Have you considered, like, swapping your bowl for the show for a table chair?
Sure, yeah.
I was sitting on a chair earlier, and, like, the posture, I'm assuming, while on the ball is a little easier than just sitting on the chair. Because, like, my back is straight, it's my core muscles supporting it as opposed to me slouching.
The Atomic Ass, that bill you listed, PC Part Picker is saying that you can't do that. You need two additional K's full expansion slots, and the TP-Link PCI Express X1 is not compatible with that micro ITX.
Oh.
Slim case, because it probably doesn't come with the secondary plate that you unscrew for the low profile things.
Yeah, that's the great thing about PC Part Picker. If you're planning out a build, it gives you all the incompatibilities. Of course, I've helped flag a few false incompatibilities. Mostly the fact that they didn't know that the 970 would fit in a Zalman ZMT4 case. Micro
Well,
ATX
it does with a Dremel.
I thought of bringing out the Dremel, but then I figured out how to scooch it in there.
It's frightening how
appropriately.
quick Dremel comes to mind when I'm faced with situations like that.
It's like, I'll just bore a hole and then it will fit.
Right. I mean, the question isn't if it's going in there. That was never asked at any point.
It is how it's going in there.
Right.
The next come with a half-height brackets, and the case supports half-height cars. All right.
No.
Then you need to flag those incompatibilities as incorrect and probably send them a picture because they won't believe you otherwise. That's what they told me.
There we go. So we totes got the I got the how-to done. So soon
Oh man, someone ran over a skunk outside.
we.
Unlimited loop.
Oh man, I was like, all right, put it down, man, put it down. So that,
Oh yeah, yeah. There's some skunk roadkill outside.
mm,
Yeah, that's making its way through the window right now.
the open
like-
window.
Yeah. What smells like shitty weed? Oh right, dead skunk.
Skunk weed.
There's a reason they call it that.
Yeah, I mean, you normally smell, dead skunk when you're going through like the Cheetos aisle at the grocery. You're like, yeah.
That's usually just that shitty cheese they use.
Well, no, it's usually because there's this one lady who was like staring because I stare at salad dressing a lot.
Right.
And I was like, seriously, you got fucking lit up and you're gonna go home and fuck up a salad? You think I'm...
Vegan stoner munchies are totally a thing.
Oh, I've seen people eat bags of salad before because that's all they were like, oh shit, and that was all that was in the house to munch on effectively, and they all sit around and ate like 3 bags of fucking salad collectively, and I was like, hippies, Jesus.
See, back when I was a peruser of our trees, like it used to just be all like they dump like a can of beans and a can of tomatoes, mix it together, and that's their snack.
Seems legit.
Tomatoes and beans, that's a thing.
Yeah. Chicken.
I mean, they're both things you like, then.
Yeah. That's like the starter kit for fucking chili. That's nowhere near add spoon though, man.
Yeah, needs a couple dashes of Blair's Reserve.
Yes. And like 5 or 6 hours of cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. Not gonna make chili if it takes that long.
No, or you get a slow cooker. Do what I do and just like set it for. I think the chili I cook usually goes for about 6 hours on high.
Thank God
So you
you
just
weren't
set-
there.
You set it and forget it. Crockpots, man, they're great.
HP. How I don't miss that being every fucking one.
Hewlett Packard and fish fingers.
No fucking brown sauce, man. That is totally not a thing over here, which is okay. One thing I do miss, there's not vinegar at every table. Not a big fan of that. I like my vinegar.
That's a European thing, yeah.
Yeah. You know, if you... All right, maybe they don't have balsamic, but they got some fucking white vinegar in a shaker.
If you go to a nice restaurant, they usually have balsamic vinegar.
Wait, Voxdog, what are you talking about? Wing coming out of a nipple?
No, not really. You can basically... I probably have 7 different types of mustard right now currently, so...
And then you cut it with the 100 proof vodka and drink it?
So you start the morning, bitch.
That's breakfast of champions. Vodka and mustard.
We're talking mustard, none of that bullshit pouponery, mayonnaise tasting stuff, man. Oh.
Well, like, I was just thinking like French's yellow mustard.
Yeah, that stuff, man, there's nothing wrong with just regular yellow mustard.
Behind you, that poster. Oh, the Superman one?
Yeah, that's Superman Returns, dude.
A wing coming out of his nipple. Oh, because you can see the cape like under his arm, and the logo is also kind of red. Yeah, okay, I see it.
I don't.
I don't either.
I'm trying, man. I am fucking trying.
So am I. I'm like, I did the double take. I'm like, what in the possible hell looks like a wing coming out
Now,
of
in
a
all
nipple?
fairness, I'm rubbish at those things that you stare at and see shit. But...
Oh, yeah, the magic eyes?
Yeah.
You're like fucking Ethan Suplee's character from Mallrats staring at it.
Oh,
I brought a
like,
lunch.
how
I
much
brought a
free
soda.
time do you people
I wanna see this
have?
fucking sailboat.
People just walking up. Oh, sailboat. Right.
Fuck you!
Ow! Usually my brain clicks with those magic eye things. So I guess I can see it because of that?
I was never able to see those magic eye things. Ever.
Well, I mean, I don't think I've ever legitimately seen one. But then again, I can't see 3D because they got fucking gecko eyes. They see individually, which is not a rare thing, apparently, after I looked it up. And I was like, oh, that's why I can't see shit in 3D.
And then his tail falls off. That's just a bit
When I
weird.
say 3D, I mean going to theater and seeing shit in 3D or using 3D glasses. Either that or my life is fucking weird.
Yeah,
Also yes.
Linux, if Linux ever gets VR support, you're probably not going to have a good time with that, Ben.
That's not 3D,
Oh,
dude.
dude, he's not going to have a good time because he's going to run into the same issue I did, insofar as one of his steps goes outside the bounds of the VR space and into whatever happens to be outside the bounds of the VR space, i.e., your television or
Oh, you're going to have
whatever.
television. The outside my boundaries are going to be the VR dome. Spikes and shit sticking out of the floor to make it sporting.
Yeah, it just looks like the bottom of Mortal Kombat Arena.
Yes.
Yeah.
Reptiles down there, and I'm like, give me some more tea. Fuck you.
I tried the original development kit for the Oculus Rift. It was stupidly low res, and there was... Some people could actually abstract themselves from the pixel grid, because it was like 640 by 480 monitors for each eye. So, I just could not unsee the grid. I never got motion sick because it's just a fucking grid. I can't unsee it.
Every time Pedro says grid, I keep like flashing back to Jeff Bridges saying the grid from that new Tron movie.
I don't remember the new Tron movie, and I know I saw it, but I don't remember it. That's probably a good thing.
It was fairly forgettable. The only good thing about that movie was the soundtrack.
Get away from me, creepy CGI Jeff Bridges. No!
No, please don't eat my children.
Well, the soundtrack was only good because they had
Daft
Because
Punk.
Daft Punk did the
Daft
entire
Punk.
fucking
Yes,
thing.
thank you.
Yeah.
Fuck names, brain, no.
All right, let's get this.
Cool.
back off the rails.
So I guess you're going to be explaining the away give?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll throw it off to you then.
Okay. Let's see. Finally got caught up on Dark Matter, by the way.
I think there's like 3 more
I have to
episodes
watch
left
this
anyways.
week.
In 3, 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, strap on, because before we get to the news, we have some very, very special people to thank.
Well, special person, but you know, we got to thank all the Patreons who make this wonderful train wreck possible every week, paying for the show week for week, value for value. It's good stuff. You can, if you want to support this nightmare fuel, you can head over to patreon.com/linuxgamecast. We got some lovely donation levels. We're very, very close at 175. We have regular streams, and if we make it to 200, well, you might be able to join in with my torment, because we have a bit of a giveaway this week, don't we?
Well, you know, serious thing. We had that 200 wet stinky cash thing. Jordan really hates that game, so we're going to force him to, very much like we do in Left for Bread. We got a new one of those out this week. Go check it out, Patreons. And hey, we don't put things behind a paywall if you're not a Patreon. That means there's also a new Left for Bread out for you as well. LGC cares. But we're going to make him play Serious Sam 3 all the way through. We're going to rotate people in and out, and it could be you. But since we have the Serious Swing, we should call it Serious Swag. It'd be kind of great for this away again.
Swiggity swag.
Swiggity swoogity. But I found out that I have an extra copy of Serious Sam 3 BFE laying around with some Steam keys. And I was like, you know what? We should give the Patreon something, shouldn't we, man? Right? Yeah?
No, yeah. Sounds like a good idea.
Okay. So, with a little Patreon away a gift, we have a very simple thing. You leave a comment under this video when it's posted tomorrow afternoon. This time, because we always like to have a little something to confuse the absolute shit out of people who don't watch this show. And they just look at comments, and when they visit our page going, what's going on? This time, just list your favorite type of soup. There's no wrong answer. There's no right answer. Just mass confusion.
Gazpacho's the wrong answer.
That's not soup, you heathen. But next week, we will randomly pick that up with a random number generator, and you'll get the key and an extra thank you. So,
yep.
If you're a Patreon, you're going to get something back.
We do have one thank you to give out this week, though. Nemo upped his donation, so good on you. Ooh. Our good buddy Nemo, Dekresny in Chat Realm.
Wait, yeah, he's going to get, I got some of that show note goodness, so.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Good times.
You get to see the sausage before it gets made, so $250 a show, we'll get you that.
All right.
Yep.
Right. But yeah,
so
we got some drivers.
And yes, as usual, we start off with some drivers. Jordan, take us away.
Yeah, this is the 370.28 driver. This is essentially a consolidation of a couple drivers that were released in the 369 branch. But there are a couple of new fixes as well. Apparently, that Vulkan Quake port that we covered a few weeks ago uncovered a few bugs in the NVIDIA Vulkan implementation. So they fixed a bit of that. They added support for HDMI 2.0. Control for TVs. They have early version of the tearing-free Prime support, but you do need to compile your own version of X because it's using a newer version of the ABI than what ships with most distributions these days. And they work, yeah. I installed them, no real issues.
That's all I can report over here. Yes, it was like NVIDIA update. I was like, all right, I'm good. Update NVIDIA 370. I was like, boom, installed. Restarted. It didn't say a single disparaging remark about my mother, Pedro.
Yeah, over here, me neither. I was actually using the 370.23 beta that they released a couple of weeks ago. It was working fine, and since the Talos principle no longer segfaults when you run the benchmark, I was actually able to run that benchmark all the way through. Almost got to 200 average FERPs on the 1080. Pretty awesome.
Brilliant.
But hey,
that's pretty good.
Speaking of the
NVIDIA.
Pascal series, yes. Speaking of the Pascal series, WCCF Tech you know, those guys that like to put all the rumors in your face all the time, given half a chance, they apparently got wind of the GeForce GTX 1050, which is going to use a slightly different version of the GP106, which is apparently just dubbed the GP107. So it's basically the exact same architecture as you can find in the 1060, with the big, I think the really big thing here, or the really small thing as the case may be, is that the prospect MSRP is $150, and the reported TDP is 75 watts. 75 watts TDP means it could be easily PCIe or PCI Express, whatever you want to say it. It could just work off of the PCIe port without any extra power connectors. That's
And
kind of
I
amazing.
mean, which is fantastic. That's what they should be aiming for, because one of the fantastic things about the 750 and the 750 Ti was that you could literally just plug it into your computer and away you go. You have a relatively powerful game-ready PC, and that's really it. The 950 was a bit of a flop because we need an extra 6-pin power connector, and it's huge, and it's a little more powerful than the 750, but not by much. This is gonna. What did you say, Pedro? This is close to a PCI. This theoretically is close to a PCI powered 970. That's going to be pretty fucking good, especially for entry level PC gaming.
Yeah, if you are to take the GPU clocks and the memory clocks and everything, and the way that NVIDIA has been releasing Pascal, it's like the 1070 was kind of like the old Titan X, and the 1060 was kind of like the 980. Then this is probably going to be a $150 970 with better Vulkan
Don't you
support.
feel dumb, Pedro?
Yeah, totally.
I don't know.
But then
Coming
again,
at
I bought my
$150.
970.
I mean, but then again, we were talking about this a bit earlier. What is this really going to cost, and what you're really thinking about? This is going to cost whatever NVIDIA needs it to cost. That's exactly what this is going to hit the streets at, because this is the final thing of like, yeah, we got our complete lineup covered. Because let's face it, the 480 definitely caught NVIDIA's like, whoa, didn't expect that thing to be that cheap.
Yeah.
And that was definitely a thing. So, I mean, this is like a lower priced 480 with working drivers. So that's
No snap.
pretty good
Yeah.
piece of kit. Looking forward to it. It'll be great for your Steam machines and whatnot. But
Yes. Yeah, Humble bundles. Periodically, Humble will do something weird and release a bundle with a bunch of game development tools. One time they had Unity. I think one time they actually had Leadworks, and this time it's Game Maker Studios' turn. So they got the Humble Game Maker bundle. You can pay what you want. Really, if you want the full package, it's going to be at least $15. But it gets you Game Maker Studio, a bunch of games with a few of them that actually come with source code, and just a way to get started making some games. Now, you might say Game Maker Studio is a tool for little babies, but you can make some good games with it. I mean, Hyper Light Drifter was a Game Maker Studio game, but also Unity Personal Edition and Unreal 4 exist.
wait, Hyper Light Drifter. How much is the 60 frames per second expansion pack?
I don't know.
It doesn't
How much
exist.
is the Ubuntu export expansion pack?
That'd be about $99, Brad.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's good that Humble does these random bundles, be it with books, although they've made the book bundle sort of a regular thing nowadays. But like just
I'm
software
thinking
and
like learning tool, man. I mean,
yeah,
source
yeah,
code.
Yeah,
and
$15
one of the things
for how to make games. It's not bad.
like the biggest missing thing from the lineup, even at the $15 level, you only get like the HTML5 module, the Android module, the iOS module, and the Universal Windows Platform module.
So you can make
Son,
your,
I mean, you
work on
can
the
start
Xbox.
pushing out shovelware on day 2 with that.
Yeah, but why aren't they offering the the desktop Mac OS X or macOS as they call them now, or the Linux modules? That would
You
be
shouldn't
nice.
call it the Linux module. You should call it the Ubuntu export module.
Yeah, and also they need to charge people $99 for it, obviously.
Right.
Clearly.
Yeah, apparently they really want people to drop
Listen,
like 100 quid on
those
Steam.
Linux users don't pay for their software, so they have money coming out the wazoo.
Right.
They can afford it.
That is true. Yes.
Moving on.
All right. Yes, this is Alive. This is from Paul Zapps, and he is making a engine reimplementation of the original Oddworld games, the first two. So if you don't feel like shelling out the money for the enhanced editions and you have your old CD copies, you might be able to get them up and running with this. They have apparently Linux and OS X are building according to their README status. So that is definitely a thing. I don't actually have a copy of Oddworld, so I couldn't check this out. And I don't feel like going to the local video store and quote-unquote renting a copy. Did any of you try building this?
I got as far as like CMake, and I was like, you know what? I got things to do. But they are using SDL2, which I think is a bit of neat sauce, Pedro.
It's certainly an improvement over the remaster, remake.
Oh,
whatever
right.
they call it.
Man,
new
I
version.
missed that joke. Swung at air, and I was like, man, don't you wish the original remake
Yeah.
Linux did?
I mean, these days, all these engine reimplementation projects are using STL because they've realized that it just removes all the work. It really does.
It's that bit of middleware that you don't have to give any credit to. Literally, it uses the zlib license. Just fucking use it.
Yeah. So that's definitely a thing. If you're an Oddworld fan, check it out. But engine reimplementations.
Yes, since we're on engine reimplementations, this is OpenMW, not 0.40.0. It's another consolidation update.
I don't even know what it is, Pedro, but they've implemented the NPC face function, and I just want some of it.
Yeah, it's like the new implementation stuff is the NPC face function, the weather-dependent sun-moon reflections and effect removal abilities like Dispel Magics and whatnot. They also fixed a bug that locked the player movement whenever they were exiting, like, portable house mods. Whatever that means, I have no idea. And the rest of it is just fixes. They fixed a bunch of things in the re-implementation and the original game itself. They fixed and implemented a couple of new stuff to the OpenMWCS, which is like the tool that you can use to build modules specifically for OpenMW. But the biggest glaring omissions at this point are shadows. There are no shadows currently in OpenMW. And Distant Land, still AWOL. Can't see it.
I mean, they're creeping closer to becoming more and more feature complete, and I, for one, can't wait to throw some chairs at it once it hits a 1.0, because this is going to be a really cool project to review.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll definitely be interesting, and once I get done with that, I will need everyone to immediately get on Open Skyrim, so I will effectively get nothing done testing that day in and day out.
Absolutely. But, you know, we're on a bit of a tear with remakes. This isn't an engine implementation. This is a straight up remake. This is called he's working on a version of the original Tomb Raider done entirely in Unreal 4. The nice thing is Crystal Dynamics has given their blessings. As long as this guy doesn't intend to profit from it, he can go and continue. Where's the polygonal boobs, man? It's just not the same.
Pyramids on those.
I can't beat my meat unless I see some
I don't know,
chest
man.
triangles.
It's kind of creepy seeing
pyramids.
the like whacked out proportions of the original Miss Croft try to be
in full
back.
3D, in full glistening 3D.
Yeah.
Yes.
But hey, man, hopefully it'll perform a little bit better than the feral version of Tomb Raider. This is entirely a fan game. I'm pretty sure it's just the one guy at the moment.
They eventually got back and made it run pretty good. But one of the things the guy's on about, he's like, I'm not planning on releasing this, or this is just my personal project, and people really need to stop bugging me. And I'm like, why the fuck do you keep on releasing screenshots, Brad, if you don't want people to bug you?
But yeah, that was the year of the engine reimplementation or something.
This
along
isn't
those
an
lines.
engine reimplementation, though. This is a straight up remake.
Yeah.
It's a straight up remake, as the case may be, but it fits.
He's doing
and
it in Unreal
continues.
Engine 4, which makes it pretty much easy sauce to get over to the Linux.
Yeah.
And I don't know if everyone saw it earlier this week. Somebody has recreated an entire Star Wars level in Unreal Engine 4, like the the Enterprise and everything in it. So it's pretty cool.
Really? Does it have a version of the Doctor you can talk to?
It's got the Doctor and Quark with Chewie for the yeah.
Nice.
No,
But
let me know when they
like
bring
I said,
in Dargo.
Okay.
Like I said before, it's nice that the Crystal Dynamics has given this guy some license to do his passion project, unlike a few companies that just engaged in pure bullshit. Nintendo.
So it's finally happened, ladies and gentlemen, booting the final GameCube game. Yes, that's right. One other person, aside from yourself, bought a GameCube and remembers it. It was a Star Wars game, speaking of, the Clone Wars, finally up and booting. Notice they don't say, running all that great, but it launches. That's kind of the standards we have for this show. It's like, we showed up. It was pretty good, man. This 5.0, brilliant rundown. What about the memory management, Jordan? It's crazy.
Okay, so this is I love reading these dolphin teardowns because it's always like we ran into this fucked up problem with Nintendo's bullshit, and this is how we fixed it. So one of the issues was they could not get the Clone Wars to start because this game uses hard-coded memory addressing as opposed to just having the CPU or the BIOS or some kind of kernel dynamically allocate memory. No, they went and fucking did this by hand on their own. So they needed to implement a translation layer to facilitate this game actually starting, which is kind of insane. But now, with that all said and done, you can boot all of the Wii games. Oh, yeah. I mean, you don't remember that part of Star Wars where that guy's leg just started spreading out of his thigh?
But yeah, that's the thing. The games all start. And they actually hit that milestone with all the Wii games a long time ago. But yeah, now all of the GameCube games start. You can't really play them all to completion yet. And some of them just will literally only start. You can't really get any further than that.
Oh yeah, let's disparage the people who are trying to reverse engineer.
Oh no! I am not disparaging their work in the least. I mean, they are basically translating a physical memory management unit into software just to make the games boot. That's insane.
All right. Well, we were talking about games getting a pass. Well, this one got the pass if passes are made out of axes and spite from Nintendo. Because fuck you. AM2R Strider knows this. Oh my god, I can't put it down. I couldn't earlier this week. I almost clocked in 3 hours. It was the Metroid clone Nintendo never wanted, but everyone wanted to play. The final definitive version 1.1 is out, and that's it. You'll have to find it at your local video store. Nintendo basically contacted Dr. M64, and they're like, hey, we're Nintendo. They just go, knock, knock, Nintendo. He's like, shit, I know, don't worry about it. They didn't have to do the, which they did, cease and desist, DMC and all that fun stuff. He was like, yeah. As soon as you hear Nintendo, he's like, all right, got it. We know how Nintendo operates, jackasses.
Listen, they're just jealous they can't make a good Metroid game recently.
Oh, hey man, it's not like we've had any swimming Sonic games either. So.
Oh god. Hold on, I need to grab my chili dog for a minute.
Okay, but
gotta go fast.
It is out. There is a Linux version of this. I managed to yoink a copy if anyone needs a.
Or you can head on over to Lutris. Strider
possibly
is screaming
Lutris,
at the top of his
you never
lungs.
know. He has done crazier things than that. It's pretty good. We might actually throw some chairs at it because I was kind of worried about doing something that is just like a one-man amateur project. I was like, this is a legit Metroid game, and it is basically Metroid 2 on steroids, and it is
the Game Boy version, not the
it's Metroid 2 with color.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, so check that out. But we got a fire sale before we get out of here.
Yes, we do. So speaking of old games, you may remember a little publisher, teeny tiny publisher from back in the day called Interplay. Yes, the people who published the two original Fallout games, Earthworm Jim, MDK, MDK2, Messiah, for those of you that really, really got into it.
I love this name. Vedbush Securities. Yeah.
Yes. So they're basically going out of business. you remember Interplay being in the news a couple of years ago when Bethesda sued their asses off because Interplay had sold the rights to a single player Fallout game to Bethesda, which they made Fallout 3 with. That's all fine and dandy. And then Interplay decided to make a Fallout MMO. Project V13, it was called at the time. And then Bethesda didn't like the idea, and so they sued their asses, and the whole process took well over 3 years to conclude. And now Interplay is basically languishing in obscurity and selling off whatever other IPs they still have.
Strider brought up, did they have the IP for Kingpin? Because Kingpin had a native Linux version at one point.
I don't know if they had Kingpin. I don't remember seeing that on the list. But yeah, it was like they sold. Eventually, they just settled with Bethesda, and they sold off the rest of the Fallout IP rights. So Bethesda now has all of that. But they still have a few, namely the MDK and Messiah licenses. Which I looked at the list, and I immediately went to Twitter and was like, Aspire, MDK, Messiah, get on it.
Yeah, I mean, most of the Interplay licenses I gave a shit about were the D&D licenses, and they've already moved to other companies, so I greet this with a big old resounding meh.
Yeah,
they did the scent.
The only thing I took away from that, was MDK, and I was like, I've always wanted to play MDK. That'd be fun. So, when we're in the home and still doing this show, because it's Saturday night, what else are we going to do outside of drink and do this? We might be able to play one or two of those games, right?
And then in the far distant future, after the engine re-implementation is done, it's on track for after Open Skyrim finishes.
Super sweet.
All right, coming up next, we freeze our balls and our asses off. And for what? For you guys, because we love you.
And scene.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a smoke.
All right. When Pedro gets back, I'm going to go re-ice my back.
Use op. Save. Exports the audio. MDK. Monkey Donkey Kicker.
I always my brain translates that to Mortal Kombat Development Kit for whatever reason.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cocaine Voltron League.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they need. Rocket League with giant robots. Actually, I'm pretty sure some of the Gundam games have already done that.
Probably.
Yeah, we need some more giant robot games on Linux.
Do we have any?
Brigador.
Okay, do we have any that actually make you think that you're in a giant robot?
Well, you depending on how you see it, Strike Zoot Zero's the other one.
Yeah, you're more of a space suit with wings.
Yeah, like I said, depending on how pedantic you want to be, that might count.
Okay. I want what was it?
Yes, Mirror. If they make a Zone of the Enderport for Linux, I will just be so happy. I love ZOE.
The Unreal Engine 3 game Hawken, that studio just completely fucked up.
Yeah. They even gave you an early crack at that game.
Oh yeah, I had hype. I was like, don't show this to anyone, crack. And I was like, I'd make it run under wine. They're like, we need to talk to you. And I was like, hey, I got it running under wine, guys. They're like, yeah, don't worry. Just pretend we didn't say any of that. So.
Grand Galactic Inquisitor, ignore me! Oh God, screaming hurts.
Uh-huh. That's back when I was just like in fuck you mode, because I was like, dude, I spent 2 days cycling through shit, figuring out a reproducible way to do this. I don't give a shit about your embargo, and I just fucking released it on YouTube. And I was like, here's how you get this bitch up and running in one. So,
CocaineVoltron.com. Yeah, let's check in on that.
got a couple of votes. Steve, as always, with the Hell Elks. We showed up. I want to use that. Their safe space. Maybe we'll do something with that.
Yeah. Mir, I'm not William Shatner. I don't need a corset. Also, my ribs are fine where they are. Thank you very much.
Aw. We were going to make you beautiful.
I am beautiful. No.
I just thought, of course, it hurts. Oh.
Yeah. I got schooled on the various types of corsets the other day.
Oh, do tell girlfriend.
Yeah. So apparently there's the underbust and the overbust. Guess which one's which?
Trick question. I can smell it.
I know, right?
Right?
Yes. Yes. And yeah. No, this was a conversation. You always have those conversations with people who they know a lot about this topic, so you're just going and it's just getting checked into the fact bank to get brought up at some point.
Well, it's the fact bank. Oh, it's like trivia night bank.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
Useless information that is going to come up eventually. It's like that one cable you find in your house. It's like, I could throw this out, but I'm gonna need it the second after I do.
Yeah. That's a very unfortunate thing, and we need to have a actually funded study of how fucking power supply cables manage to reproduce when they're not being watched.
Yeah, it's a fun game. Go and count the number of PSU cables you have just kicking around.
Right.
I guarantee it's more than 10.
Yeah. Check back in a month.
Yeah, they breed.
It's unreal.
Yeah, you clean it up one day, you find 2 of them in the corner. What the fuck?
Strangling a cat.
Yeah, come back a week later and there are 3.
SCART cables. Ugh. Well, actually, they were fucking handy, but everything had SCART connectors. Nothing over here is fucking SCART connectors, so there is that.
I have to look up what a SCART cable is because I'm
RGB. Simple RGB. Plug it in. My Neo Geo has a SCART thing on it, which apparently makes it worth a fuckload less.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you got them pants, then you got to have the SCART, right? Oh.
Foxy, keep a lookout. We're always on the lookout for software, because just having random. If we bring in another person, yeah,
just for fun after show shenanigans.
Something that makes it. Jordan understands the difficulty of trying to make a D&D game entertaining to watch. It's just not.
Yeah, well. There's a way to do it. You just have to make sure that all your players are good at improv, and you got to keep a good pace because normal D&D games will get sidetracked really easily. If you want a good idea of how to make a D&D game entertaining, check out ItMeJP's channel on YouTube. There's some interesting series there that are pretty decent. Total Bisquick is in one of them actually. As a Warhammer game. But yeah, Truggy, when you were my age, I probably was still a twinkle in my daddy's balls. Actually, I don't know how old Truggleswick is. Yeah, I had to do that math again. I'm turning 27 this year.
Okay, all right, right on.
No.
Don't worry. I mean,
roommates already turned 30, so yeah, bunch of fucking old people.
well, after like between 25 and I think 40 are just kind of like the whatevs years.
Yeah, you're starting to make good money. You can kind of just do what you fucking want.
Right.
You're a little too old for partying.
No, well, you're physically too old. This is what like the most difficult thing. Like right around 30, you can still fucking do it. I can still go out.
Yeah, it's just the next day is no
No,
fun.
it's not the next day. It's this next 3 days that you're still trying to shake it off. You can
Yeah.
lay down, watch a movie, grab a shower, and head back out to work. Like,
Yeah, you need to spin down for a little bit.
you need to be coddled into the fetal position in the corner of your fucking dark house, rocking silently for about a day. Yeah.
With the air conditioner pointed at you.
Pointed blast on with, just a bunch of H2O around you, and you're like, oh.
Okay, Pedro's back. I'm gonna go ice myself for a little bit.
All right. Jordan's going to go ice himself, so we might have to do this by ourselves. It depends on what he meant by that. Marcellus wants me to take out his wife.
Jordan going to ass himself. I can just imagine Jordan laying in a bathtub filled with diamonds.
Oh yeah, man, that's how the rap video starts out. There's like a whole genre of like Jewish rap artists.
Not surprising. Never heard of any of them, but that's surprising.
It can't be any more sad than Christian rap now.
Jesus Christ is my nigga.
That's racist.
That's all I will say. Sorry, Twitch.
Whatever you do,
If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google it.
The Beastie Boys. Yeah, all right. Fair enough.
Yeah, I guess that would qualify.
Well.
Sabotage. That is literally all I know.
Oh, I was jamming out to some Beastie Boys the other day. They just went on a...
Oh,
What?
check it out. I listened to a lot of Check It Out back in the day when it first came out because it was everywhere. Check it out. What's it all
Intergalactic.
about?
I mean, there's a lot of good Beastie Boys. And they survived the future. I mean, they even got their heads in jars, so...
Rolling up my sleeves because it's warm in here. Is Intergalactic from a DBZ AMV?
Yes, there was. That I remember that.
Most of the AMVs I watched were Bleach AMVs with like Linkin Park and Nickelback.
So fortunate. I don't know what a bleach is. I know it exists, but I don't know what it is.
It didn't start off too bad. But by the end, they were kind of...
Afro Samurai, I want some more of that. Give me another series of that. And
yeah.
But we are getting Samurai Jack, so maybe that'll...
Yeah, they're making a new Samurai
It's about
Jack.
to come out.
Yep. Let's see. The guy who drew Afro Samurai
Russian
also
guy, yeah.
designed the game, which isn't out on Linux. Can't remember what it's called. It has like a really offensive name. I don't remember. Ah.
The Beatles. That one Beatles song. It's a cover that they did. Shake It Up, Twist and Shout. The cover because it was so far outside of what's his name's vocal range.
John Lennon?
Whichever one he was. The one with the fucked up moppy hair.
We are talking about the Beatles, right?
And yeah, that one. I like that, but I mean, I like people who do stuff that are what was it? Nirvana, Kurt Cobain. He did "Lake of Fire," the Meat Puppet song. That was like way out of what he was able to sing, and it turned out to be all right. You know, he was the one wearing plaid.
Again, Nirvana.
You mean 90s?
Yeah, the 90s. Just about every band that called themselves rock in the 90s. Even Metallica. Yeah, there was a lot of Metallica plaid. But no, the Beatles, I think the only song of theirs I don't completely ignore, as in my brain just turns it into background noise, is I Am the Walrus. Yeah.
Foxy, I've tried to play Truck Simulator so bad, and I was just like, man, just can't get into it. You don't
play it. You don't play it.
Okay, I'll go on Twitch and fucking watch it then, because that's the only alternative.
You just let your brain fall asleep and let your muscles do the work. That's how you quote unquote play it. It's catharsis. It's not fun. It's not escapism. It's not entertainment. It's catharsis. At least for me, anyway. I don't know.
Okay. It just seems too much like work.
No, work is usually a bit more involved. That is literally...
Now if they would team up with Rockstar and come out with like, American Truck Simulator Vice City or some shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, getting out of the truck and just boosting a car in the highway, it has its appeal.
Right.
Yes. John Lennon's dead.
Yeah, Stephen King murdered him.
There are only like two Beatles left alive at this point. It's unless McCartney's finally croaked, it's Ringo and Paul McCartney.
LennonMurderTruth.com. Oh, Nixon was involved too. Of course he fucking was, right?
Nixon, Reagan, and who? Stephen King. Okay, yeah.
Hey, man.
Reagan. So, why would the U.S. president want to kill a Beatle? Oh, the shooter was aiming for Yoko. Okay, that I can see. Nope. No, I'm not yet. Okay.
Well, let's just say it's a good thing he didn't have a full automatic than hundreds of people.
That was a bad move on the shooter.
So, do we need to get like a death pool started for that bookshelf?
Well, I can see the top shelf. It's already curving down a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely get some curve in them.
Mhm.
We're not going to be fortunate
There's a
enough
lot
for
of
it to nope
curves.
on the
There's a
show.
lot of curves right there.
Yeah. Hey, man, those are man curves. So
Take your shirt off.
I will fucking pull this.
Well, he started anyway.
I will shut down our own channels. All right, identify a trucking.
See ya, Truggy.
It's no, dude. It's Friar Canuck. Dad puns.
Ah, no. What was... Oh, right. Robin Hood. Never mind. Because, yeah, when you said Friar Canuck's like, right, Friar Tuck. Where was that from?
Brain.
Right,
Get
okay.
back to me.
It's just a bunch of names going through my brain, and my brain does not like names. Numbers, I can deal with numbers.
Meow,
Names.
meow, 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 meow.
Isn't that right, Pablo?
You called me Pablo genuinely once.
Escobar.
All right, Petey, what are you saying?
No, you only called me Pablo genuinely once.
Whatever you say, Peter.
I'm gonna go genuinely refill the arch cup. So
You
Got
do
me an
that.
ice cream sandwich because it will make me feel slightly better. And yes,
Yeah,
Basil,
sugar.
it is a Jawa costume, Utini. Oh.
Ice cream sandwiches are like the beer of ice cream. Just everyone has it.
I'm sure that made sense in your head, but
Yeah. Still does.
ah.
Let's
So why are you talking about my lumps?
see. I can't
Listen,
even remember
Pedro,
what we were
I know
talking
you want
about.
my lumps, but you can't have them.
Yes. They're lovely lady lumps, but we were talking about something with curves, and all of a sudden you shut up on screen. Oh, right, your shelf. Right. Your top shelf of that bookshelf behind you. It's curving a little bit downward. See there, right in the middle? It's already got the dip.
Yeah, I need to maybe move some hard drives off there.
Yeah.
I
So
do- oh, I
we're
need
talking
to go
about the
back.
curvature that it was taking, and all of a sudden you walked up on camera. So hey, there's a lot of curves.
Listen, man, I got a nice butt. I take pride in that. Like, I do a lot of squats.
I don't really care about my body. I mean, case in point, I smoke like a motherfucker.
Yes.
Yes. I don't exercise. I basically sit all day.
Oh, I have like a myriad of health problems that I'm trying to avoid, and sort of approaching 30 is sort of the catalyst for making these changes, because once you go past that, it's really, really hard to make these sorts of lifestyle changes and actually make them stick.
That boat sailed.
Yep. Not for me, though. I got another 3 years left. But yeah, no.
Yeah, motherfuckers are amazing.
Oh man, I actually lost a bunch of weight. I'm starting to like sag around like my armpits. Yes.
Oh, because you don't have the fat there
I know,
anymore, so
Steve.
it's just
Soon-
dangling.
Soon I'm gonna lose my ass, but it's gonna be glorious while it lasts. My roommate did keto. I like bread too much. That's my problem. But I mean, like, I'm fine with my body type. I just want to like build up more strength. That's my deal.
And that's all people should care about. It's
Yeah.
you're not going to
That was
change.
the that was the one thing I made sure of going into like working out regularly. I'm not focusing on losses. I'm focusing on gains.
Yeah, and basically your body is what it is. Your anatomy kind of develops around what you do and what you eat. And trying to change that, unless you do something drastic, it's going to cause a lot of issues. And even if you do something drastic, chances are it's going to cause even more issues. It's not nice.
Yep. But like having like stronger musculature is good because it'll help reduce the issues that come with like my knee and back stuff.
Yeah.
That I'm starting.
And
that
you
I'm,
do,
like, I'm starting to
if
deal
you
with.
have a lot of weight that you need to support, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. And I've surprised people with how fast I move these days. Like when it comes to like booking across the street or whatnot, I have a lot of leg power now, and I have a long stride. So
Well, you're not exactly short, so yeah.
yeah. I just have to get rid of this horrible back pain. Hopefully it goes away by Monday. I hope not. Or I hope it does.
What are we on about?
Oh.
A little bit of a truth slip there.
Yeah, some real talk.
Okay.
Do we still have that like 2-hour real talk thing from like way back when?
Oh,
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. It's like, oh shit, why am I running out of hard drive space?
Yeah.
I remember that, but I don't remember anything
Awesome.
regarding that.
I'm just curious. I'm not that anyone needs to listen to it. I'm just curious if it's still kicking around somewhere.
Patreon exclusive.
Remember the holiday special we recorded with Jill?
Was I there for that?
You were on it.
That's your face right there on the thumbnail.
Okay, you're so young.
Oh wow. That is the old place.
Yeah.
Oh, we were talking about Cloud Atlas, Sky Roadmap.
That was
Back when we
3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah, back when we had a formal after show.
Right.
I also remember one where you played the Unicorn Wizard with the Spanish subtitles, and we were basically discussing the accuracy of the translation.
Listen, these are important questions that need to be answered.
Yeah.
Tu estás unicorn wizardo?
Yo soy El Mago Unicornio.
I definitely need to break down and like learn the Spanish, but the spoken word, I'm fucked. But if it's on paper, I can put that shit together to the point to where I can figure out what's going on.
And a lot of words actually written down anyway, they look similar enough. I mean, it's language. For all the difference it makes, it's pretty similar.
Well, I like the fact that like the exacerbated fucking colon pipe expression is universal across all languages. they did a study. Colon like pipe means the same thing in every culture.
Yeah,
Nothing like
it's seriously.
Yeah, it literally just means like seriously, fucking kidding.
colon exacerbation.
That's a show title and a band name.
True story. Right, now let's add to the difficulty of switching all this bullshit with a hood on. All right.
Well, you need to get those glasses that have like the slinkies on them with the eyeballs at the other end.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
basically,
talking about,
man.
right?
I know what you're talking about.
And Chat Realm, if you don't appreciate my rants, this is your cue to leave.
I would appreciate you summarizing that fun section instead of reading like 3
Yeah,
paragraphs.
verbatim. Maybe drill it down to a couple sentences.
I timed myself reading that. If I don't choke all that much and you guys don't interrupt me, I can
just
get
choke
it
talking
in like
about
2 minutes.
choking.
Yeah, just dude, trust me.
No.
The fuck do you... Who are you and what have you done with Pedro?
Cylon! Cylon! All right.
Let's pull this fucker up. Let's see. Okay.
Who really killed John Lennon? I did.
In 3, 2...
Yes, you heard it right here. I am the true killer of John Lennon, but that's not important right now. What is important is that we're throwing chairs with Frozen State from Block Studios, developed on the Unity 5 engine that you can pick up for about 12 of your local currency, depending on where you live. And what is it? Frozen State is a brutal survival game set in a world embraced by man-made ice age, meant to protect mankind from pestilent hybrids, bitter cold and numbing fear of the constant companions in the journey through the retrofuturistic Frozen State world. That sounds like a mouthful, but you know what it isn't? The chairquisition. 1 chair means that it's garbage. 2 chairs means that it's pretty good, or that's kind of meh. 3 chairs means that it's pretty good. 4 chairs means that it's awesome. We also got our categories of doom, mixed with the working shiny sounds, controls, and fun. So let's kick this off. Did Frozen State freeze your box, Ven? Did
My
it leave
box
it in a frozen
was
state?
properly and adequately chilled in all the possible ways. Over here on the Ubuntu 1404 LTS, 980 powered with a 4K UHD displayed box of business. It ran. It launched. We'll give it that. Good job. But it doesn't have... Well, it's got a small problem. It doesn't stay running. You see, when you die, so does the game. Interesting game mechanic, that, but we'll get into that a bit more in depth just a bit later. But outside of that, it has managed to start twice with the E key, which is basically everything for this damn game key not working. That was always fun, but you know, if you stayed alive long enough to die, you could just restart it yourself. No big issue there. Technically, it runs, so technically it gets 2 chairs.
Yeah, I've gotten stuck in the furniture and between furniture and in walls a few times.
Are we talking about the
and
game?
I've only had 1 crash upon death, so it's not a repeatable thing. And I've died a lot in that game, so I'll give it 3 chairs. There are definitely some issues.
On
Oh yeah, on Fedora 24 64-bit, the i7 6700K, and the NVIDIA GTX 980.
Yeah, and over here on the GTX 1080 with the FX8370E overclocked at 4.2 gigahertz and running Ubuntu Mate 1604. I died 3 times while exploring a building, and the game crashed the first time. Now, every time I die, the game just outright nopes into the desktop. The FERPs managed to hold a steady 60, which for a Unity game is impressive, until you start to notice the dirty hack the game pulls to achieve that. So for me, it gets 2 chairs.
All right, that's 2 whole chairs for Mix with the Working. Up next is Shiny and Sounds. Then, does it have cool sounds and cool graphics?
It doesn't have a whole lot of cool anything aside from the snow that apparently is everywhere in Mother Russia. But it doesn't look horrible. It looks very amateur hour period. But what really adds to the jankiness of it, Leroy jankiness levels, is the animation and character movement of one of the three characters that you pick. It's just ass, which I've never played. These type of, you think like PlayStation 2, what was the zombie killing game?
Got to be more specific than that.
That one.
Yeah.
Loved it. And that's just how they move. They're slow, they're sluggish. They do some weird judo kicks and stabs when you try to attack, and it's all at the speed of smell. That's just meh. The details, the environments, the cars look nice. I'll give them that. Some of the weird cars. The buildings, I don't know. I think maybe they might be procedurally generated. Again, don't really know. This game liked to crash a lot, and I was like, yeah, all right, gonna take a break from it. It has sounds question marks. I honestly don't recall. It's that forgettable. It's kind of like if someone took This War of Mine and kind of flipped it with a top-down view and fired all the graphic artists. How about that? You can see stuff, and I do believe it, in fact, makes noises. So I'm going to give it a 2.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like a late era PS1 game, maybe early PS2 in terms of graphical fidelity. Like Vin said, I think the buildings are fairly procedurally generated because some of those layouts just make no sense whatsoever. Rooms within rooms within rooms. Looks like someone kind of was on crack and playing with the D&D dungeon generator tables. And as for the sounds, they're there. They exist. You can hear them. The game tries to do this sort of like listening, approaching mechanic where the enemies get louder as they get closer. But I couldn't tell because it all sounded the exact same. And also, the enemy line of sights are really, really crappy. So you see them before you hear them. Yeah, that's really it. It's fairly lackluster in both the shiny and sounds department. So it gets a lackluster score of 2 chairs.
Yeah, the game obscures everything you're not looking at, which in a technical sense explains how a relatively open area in Unity isn't taking the FERPs. But it also makes everything stupidly dark. If you're looking at the produced version right now, the video you're looking at, yeah, that's pretty dark. I guess that's also to hide the fact that the monsters have like 2 or 3 different animations a pop, including the walk cycle. I get it. It's the monster remains all the scarier the less you see of it mantra. How did that work for Cloverfield again? Yeah, not very well. The guns sound piss weak, like to the point where you opening and closing a door sounds louder than a frickin' revolver. I can't give it 1 chair because it technically works, but it has absolutely nothing to... It has done absolutely nothing to earn a higher score. 2 chairs, sorry.
Oh, well, Pedro's figuring out how to count. This gets 2 cheers for Shiny and Sounds. Up next is Controls, Ben.
I don't know, man. Controls work. They worked out of the box. The only thing I tried it was, just your keyboard and gerbil. Standard fare. Which I really should have brought up in the animation is, this guy just kind of moonwalks and glides and whatever over the map because you can be pointing this way. I think Pedro said it was like the Brigador game we played where you're pointing this way but you're going this way, and it's just laughably bad. It does control though. I mean, you can spin in circles and put your little green reticle over things on the floor and hit E and pick them up and then die because you're just going to be doing that a lot. It works technically. I have no idea how you survive in this game if you have to face more than one dead what the hell ever they're supposed to be. They just look like they took a grab bag.
They have a scorpion tail.
Just like baddies. And they're like, here, fuck them up a little bit. Stick them in the game. Because that's really what you're facing. But like combat, just fucking forget it, man. Just run. It's point and click adventure game effectively with a top-down 3D view. Nothing to write home about. Nothing's broken again. This is kind of what this game is. This is like... Technically, it's a game. The game. So, 2 chairs.
Yeah, I mean, this thing controls like a butt, let's be honest. Pedro is spot on with the Brigador comparison. He's going to get into that a little bit later. But it does the stupid thing where your character moves with the mouse, and you have to move the camera separately, and your character's walking like dimension has its own axis of movement. Now they have a couple ways of dealing with this. You can hit down the X button and it will cause the camera to follow the cursor, which is a terrible idea. Don't do it. It's bad. It's terrible. I thought maybe it would fix some of the control issues. No, it just makes it so much worse. And I mean, like, walking in this is really, really awkward, especially when you're trying to navigate, like, these really labyrinthine, procedurally generated buildings, trying to duck out of the way of these spitters who can, like, spit stuff at you, or people who just randomly start shooting you because you get on their property. I thought this was Russia, not Arkansas.
Texas.
Whatever. The crafting UI needs some work, just because, like, it'll highlight stuff that you have the materials to make, but I would really like a search feature, because scrolling through all the various little menus can be a bit tedious, especially when you're looking for that one fucking thing you need to build. And yeah, no, combat in this is just fucking terrible. I finally clued into you hit them and then you run the fuck away, and then you run back and you hit them and you run the fuck away, and you do this 3 or 4 times, and hopefully they die. But yeah, this they function 2 chairs.
Yeah, it's definitely not as bad as Brigador, even though it does the exact same stupid thing of moving forward from the perspective of the camera and not where your reticle is aiming at. Where it is better is the fact that it lets you reorient the camera, which you couldn't do in Brigador. And, well, if you really hate the right click on your mouse, you can just tape it down and the camera will sort of follow around. Not as janky as if you hold X to actually toggle the aiming thing, but you can actually sway the camera around, give or take, and your character will move in the direction that your reticle is pointing at. That said, it's still an annoying-ass control scheme, and it doesn't end there. Would you like to change directions while you're moving? Aha. Fuck you. That's what the game says, because the moment you try, your character pauses the movement for a full second and turns to face the new direction you told it to move in. Then, if you have the goal to just try and switch weapons in the middle of combat, your character will once again stop everything he or she is doing to ensure that you get your face bitten off by one of the post-apocalyptic monstrosities du jour. So for me, it gets 2 chairs.
All right, that's 2 chairs for controls. Let's wrap this up. Would you say that Frozen State is a cool game, Ben? Did you have fun?
Did you just ask me why our fun section has a question mark on the end of it? Allow me to elaborate. We took this and I opened it. You know, I like to go into just going blind sometimes. It's like, okay, let's load this. Loading screen. Started up and I was like, this is another survival game. Joy of fuck-mothering joys. We were very happy about that. The intro, which I'm guessing at some point they were going to have voice acted or read or something, is just this wall of text broken into paragraphs with one animated truck-type thing driving. And I got all the way to the part of brilliant writing describing the baddies as part human, part evil. I quit reading that boring-ass intro. Right the fuck there, Brad. I did. Trying to get into the game. Right when I'm launching it, you get into inventory menu. Let's just be hella polite and call it layered. Because it's like, maybe it's a Unix system. I know this. Some shit like that, right? What the fuck's going on? It definitely reeks of something. It was like, started out kind of simple and had shit tacked on. The fucking submenus have right-click submenus in them. I was like, yeah, this has been explained to me at fucking what point? The game's like, fuck you, Brad. It's like, okay, I'm just going to arm a flashlight and a knife and we'll see what fucking happens. Again, combat is absolute shit. There's no point. I just run. Fuck you. Right in the ears if you run into a ladder. Pedro will probably explain that a bit more. But for me, what this game was, now normally I try to put a minimum of a full ARN into these games. Usually 2, more often than not 3 or 4 at minimum. This, between the spike crashes, it's not bad enough I died because this game has shit controls and I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. But then it crashes on top of that and I'm like, yeah, good. I don't have to play it anymore. And then you have to go back, and I only managed about 45 minutes of those cycles over and over and over again. Because at the end of the day, this is just a walkabout simulator where you just build a fire and you die. And it's all done on a budget. But I'm not done yet. There's just a little bit more. It's such a bad sign. When it dies and your first thought is, good, I don't want to play this game. And it's going to do that almost for everyone more times than enough to be within that 2-hour refund window. So I think it's a safe bet to say pick this up and give it a try because you won't miss it. Fuck this game. One share.
Yeah, I managed to survive one whole day. So these sorts of survival games don't really appeal to me. I like shooters, I like RPGs, I like dynamic action or interesting stories or something to experience or like interesting gameplay. This game doesn't really have that. And I mean, compounded with just poor controls and dying all the time because the game is literally stacked against you, this doesn't really do much to improve my opinion on the genre. I mean, like, yeah, there's crafting. That's the thing. The survival thing is okay. You have to find your food. I don't know why you need to find water considering you're surrounded by snow, which is, water. I don't know why that's even
It's
an
albino yellow snow.
I know, right? Yeah. And as for the direction, they're like, oh yeah, no, if you go to this computer terminal, which you can totally skip, by the way. I went into the game without realizing that there was a mission you needed to go onto, and only through derping around through the tutorial area I was able to find that. Oh, by the way, that tutorial area is a gigantic waste of time because every time you die, and you will die a lot, you have to restart the game and ransack that entire fucking place. They can't just start you off. Here's some generic equipment you can use. Go have fun. No, you have to go through all the puzzles in the UI. Oh, speaking of puzzles, how do you like opening doors in this game where you have to click E on the door and then slide the latch so that you can unlock it? And that's the basic door because you can have like passcode lock doors that you can pick, or if you are lucky enough, they'll just leave a big fucking fuck you sign that says, "This is the combination, you guys. Don't enter it at all costs." And yeah, I mean, the exploration element's kind of weird. It has like this. I want to compare it to Death Road to Canada because you have the overworld exploration screen, and then when you go to areas, you drill in and you get like this little Death Road to Canada style mini map that you can explore and go through the procedurally generated stuff. It doesn't really do much because there's usually 1 or 2 points of interest or some labyrinthine building with horrible monsters at the end that eat you, or some guy with a gun who just decides he lives in Texas and not Russia, as been corrected me earlier. But, unlike Death Road to Canada, at least I don't die for no reason. I die because I freeze to death. Yeah, no, one chair.
Yeah, you can totally tell that the buildings were procedurally generated because at one point, you can actually see this in the produced version. I went up some stairs, and then when I tried to go back down said stairs, I couldn't because there was an invisible wall on them, so I had to jump down to the lower level, costing me some health. Good design. But to come in defense of the UI, this UI is impressive considering the rest of the game. You have 4 different tabs on the left side and 4 different tabs on the right side. You can have any combination of tabs open, assuming it's one from each side. Besides that, you can also right-click on just about everything everywhere. But it all looks like someone drew those rounded corner rectangles in MS Paint and then used a bucket with whatever shade of CRT green they found and filled in the blanks. The amount of work that went into the UI functionality is impressive. I think I might actually start using this particular UI to compare other games to. That said, I can't really do that with anything else in the game. Your journal says that you need to find parts to fix the quote-unquote war rig that the introductory plot dump shows up under. The little cutscene. So you go around doing the usual survival bullshit with a janky camera, a character that moves like he or she has Parkinson's disease, and a stupid fucking annoying combat system. Oh yeah, the combat in this game sucks big fat titties, because the moment you run out of bullets, you might as well throw yourself at the nearest hostile thing you find. Instead of taking
you got bullets.
Yes, if you got bullets. But let's just say you're using the axe. If you want to take a quick but effective swing of an axe, your character says, "No, I don't feel like you're appreciating me enough." And so he has to do a little twirly ballet move before the swing proper. And the only thing that does is guarantee you're going to get munched on or during each swing animation. This is, again, very bad design. And the guns themselves, they sound and feel like you're blowing spitballs out of a hollowed out ballpoint pen. And for a game which is very obviously and desperately hard trying to build up an atmosphere, it fails miserably. 30 minutes of dealing with my character being too cold or too hungry or too thirsty is all about I could muster in one go. So no, it's not fun. It's desperately trying to introduce the survival elements du jour to a formula which was quote-unquote popular back in 2006 or 2007. You can see Stalkers and Shadowgrounds and even Fallout's inspirations everywhere you look in this game. Unfortunately, it fails in just about every aspect that made those games fun. One chair.
All right. That was one chair for fun, and we tally all that up, and we get one whole chair for Frozen State. So, final thoughts, gentlemen? Mental Gen.
Pretty easy. What was this thing clocking at 13.99 what stinky cashes?
No, $11.99.
$11.99. You know, it could be $1.99, and I would still tell you to keep the fuck away from
it. Yeah, no, this game is bad. Don't play it. If you want to experience like survival in a cold area, maybe take a camping trip in Canada. Because it ultimately costs less and is more fulfilling than the hour I spent playing this game.
Hey Pedro, what about what's that survival Skyrim wannabe games? A fuckload better than
Savage Lands?
Oh, yeah. Savage Lands, yeah. Yeah, no, that's a much better game. Get that instead. Yeah.
All right. You heard that here. Get Savage Lands, don't play Frozen State. Coming up next, someone actually reads the shit on our contact page. Find out what they did next.
Dicks.
Also, yes.
Just ASCII dicks all over the place.
Dicks. I mean, we'd accept that. That's valid hate mail.
This is true.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna get out of these fucking robes.
Yeah. Strider, I know for a fact I was looking at you talking about that 3D file manager. I know for a fact that exists. I just can't remember the name of it.
Oh, yeah. I saw that on GitHub. Like, this is the Unix system.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loaded that up, and I was like, yeah. That's all right. No.
GitHub. Let's see.
I had a brain slip earlier today. I was like, I think I've just been using Ubuntu too long.
Why?
Because, I loaded the virtual camera module that would set up, and I was like, then I needed to remove it to do something else, and I was like, had to pause and think for a minute. I was like, it's like, how do I do it? Because I know what I was thinking. I was like, is there some bullshit way I got to do this with a Ubuntu? Or is RMmod just, There was a legitimate pause. I was like, is there some bullshittery I have to type? I was like, no, it's just RMod.
Just turn on the light. There we go.
Oh.
Yeah, whatever I have to deal with some big issue, I miss
Polyester
Fedora.
over polyester, man. Keep it cool.
Cool. I'm sweating.
No, well, not really anymore. Of course, I always wear like long sleeve shirts and shit. So.
Yeah, no, I'm a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy.
I own a pair of jeans, I believe. I would be pressed to locate them, but I'm sure there is at least a pair of jeans in this house. I just wish the temperature would like normalize. And he's gone. And he's gone. Head page to web panel. So I'm on week 3 of playing with Vivaldi. It's alright if it doesn't do something completely retarded. I mean, genuinely retarded like it did the other day. Like opened up some weird side menu that I didn't ask it to, which I had to go into the options to disable. So, very much a love-hate thing. But I like the speed of it. And it's got a little bit of go to it.
What are we on about? Sorry, I just had random nori.
Vivaldi.
Ah.
I was talking about it doing that stupid left side menu pop-out thing. The fuck's this? Really? I didn't hit any... I have to go in the settings and cut this off, don't I? And it's like, yeah, all right.
FSN. That's the name of that 3D file manager thing that's meant to look like the Jurassic Park one. FSN. I can't read that from the return video because it's blocky. That's the one.
I need to go put that on my Sun GDM 20 monitor. And be like, oh my god, it's a Raptor. This is the file system manager you run if you hate yourself.
Do you want to get anything done? Don't use this file.
Oh fuck no, I'm at work. Put this bitch on. Is it 15 minutes to get something open? Yes. Give me. Put in my veins.
Come on, Jordan, hurry up. I'm sweating in here.
Suffer.
I need to get some ventilation for this thing.
Get Nori to hold you down. I'll drill some holes in it. It's not been terrible. I take that back. I think it was like 34 fucking degrees today. It was a dry 34 though.
It didn't get anywhere near that high here. I think the highest it got was like 27, 26.
It did that like the middle of last week. It was 2 or 3 o'clock and it barely hit like 22, 23. And I was like, yeah, you're just fucking with me. I don't believe this shit.
But then again, it was cloudy all day, so... Yeah.
Got a little irritated at Google today though, man.
Why?
Google Maps. Because normally on my walk-around tablet, Nexus 10, I just keep location shit off. You know? Because that's with me all the time unless I absolutely need it. I was looking for directions for a little place in downtown Atlanta, and I was like, oh, where's exactly this place at? And I was just going to use walking directions. Hey, I'd never used those. And I was like, oh, this is a good way to get run over. Neat. It's like, okay, cut. It was like, this you need, you know, because I got into maps, I got into directions. I was like, give me my directions. I was like, you need to change your settings. I was like, okay, this one app would like to access your settings. I was like, yes, this app can. Boom. Then Google's just lit up, and like all the Google Now like location cards started populating. I got like a secondary weather thing showing. I was like, oh fuck no, Googs, really? I was like, I gave one app permission to use location, and you're trying. I was like, come on, man.
We can do it too. Come on.
Like, what's up with that, man? Last time that's gonna fucking happen. At least I know off works.
What did I miss?
Or just Google being Google.
App permissions on Android.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, at least they ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, or unless you're the Facebook app, do we have permission to rape your battery from both sides?
Well, no, I mean, that was what I was just saying is I was looking up some walking directions when I was downtown today. And it was like, okay, you want to give maps? Because I normally keep all location off. And I said, okay, would you like to give maps? And I was like, yes, that's one app. You can have it for this. And then, like, all the Google Now location cards started, like, popping up notifications and shit like that. Then it gave me, like, a different weather thing. It activated that for... And I was like, no. Bad Google. And I cut it off.
And then Google's like, no, you turn it back on, then.
No,
like,
man.
Yes, master. You stood up to Big Papa Googs, eh?
Not really. I mean, I cut it off, and I was like, you're the fucking power company. What am I going to do? Buy an iPad? I mean, seriously?
Do it, man. Jailbreak it so you can install your Cydia apps on it.
You want to talk about, like, sketch, man. I guess there has to be, like, a slightly reputable, like, Apple side-loading store. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you can. So I know this for a fact. You can install your own apps onto an iPhone, but there's some hoops you got to jump through. Number one, you need like an appropriate non-iTunes Store provisioning profile. Number two, it always has to be done through iTunes, no matter what. Or I think there's some Jenkins plugin that lets you do it too, but it requires some setup, and it's only for like apps in development, so they'll have all the debug hooks and shit in them too.
Basil, yes, there's that Ubuntu tablet, but currently, I'm not pulling punches, man. I'm just speaking the cold truth. My fucking Windows 10 tablet has more usability than that thing.
Because you can use it to update your iTunes feeds.
Or do things.
It can do two things.
Or just do things in general.
Yeah, and it acts as like a pocket heater when it's chilly out.
It really does. I mean, it doesn't get hot to the touch, but it gets extremely warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. There is one more episode of Dark Matter, isn't there?
There are two more.
Two more?
Episode 10 was last week, and episode 11 is this week, so yeah, there's 13 for the season.
So I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
Then I'm running on empty, man, because I just chewed up those last little bits of Colony.
Yeah, no, I'm finishing up The Wire, and then I'm moving on to the Adventures of Mr. Something Something Something. Google knows what I'm talking about. That's all I need to know.
Yeah. That's good. That just makes you angry, though, at the end of it. And you're like, damn it. It's like one of those Sherlock things. It's like, you better make more, Beebs. Well, I don't think this is Beebs. This is like IT.
No, it's BBC.
It was, what was it, BBC 4 then? Or some shit?
Yeah, BBC 4.
Oh.
The Beebs. It took me a second because for a brief minute I thought you meant Justin Bieber. Like, what? Oh, wait, no, BBC. Ah.
The Beebs.
Yeah. Do you believe?
Ugh.
Do you believe in good?
Take him back, Canada. Take him back.
Ah, you can have him. You can have him along with fucking Anakin Skywalker, who fucking is from not too far from where I am right now.
Really?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Boy.
The Mythbusters. Adam Savage was up in the Toronto's earlier this week.
Really? I missed that.
Like hanging out with Deadmau5, because apparently Deadmau5 lives in Toronto.
I thought he was a Quebecer.
Like right outside. It was like, technically we're not in Toronto or some shit, because they went on like a ride video where they go get some shit.
Hold on, Adam Savage, Deadmau5.
What the hell were you running from, Strider?
They're probably in like fucking Hamilton or Markham or some shit. Based on the screenshot, I don't recognize the Timmies.
Can you tell by the Tim Hortons locations they pass by? You're like, oh, that one. All right, yeah, I know exactly where that.
Well, I mean, like, there's shit sometimes when I'm watching movies or stuff filmed in Toronto. It's like, oh, I know where that is.
It was like New York, right?
Yeah, sure. Toronto would like you to believe it's New York, but it's not New York. They're trying really hard.
Someone needs some. I just want footage of Strider running from fucking crows, dude. I mean, that'll make me the happy.
No, but instead of like actual birds, it's just like
no. I want Jon Snow. I want Jon Snow leading the charge.
Exactly, Game of Thrones cosplayers.
Yes.
And like the Melisandre cosplayer who really shouldn't be cosplaying Melisandre. Let's be real.
Ooh, yeah. All right, yeah. Gotta face facts sometimes.
Listen. If it makes you happy, that's good. But I mean, you know, whatever. If you do it for you, that's cool. But I'm not into it. People can dress however the fuck they want. Just be aware of the way that you dress.
Yeah, he really does have that Vancouver accent.
I thought I had a Calgary accent.
I don't know. You all sound alike to me.
That's racist against Canadians with our beady eyes and flappy heads. Mm-hmm. No, I've always been based out of Toronto. At least as long as I've been doing LGC. If you're in Toronto and want to hang out, please call me. I'm so lonely.
I was just thinking, well, like the minimalist fucking backdrops we all have. We could relocate fucking anywhere and like 75 fucking quid worth of set staging. Just play it.
Mm. Yeah. Need to get the fog machine.
Oh yeah, I got my fog machine, man. Right here, bitch. Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Blow my clouds.
Yeah, Ven's gonna upload himself to the cloud. Give him a minute.
Man, I've now officially like banned myself from talking to vape bros. You can't punch them. It's illegal.
Listen, man, I got this great new patchouli vape stuff. It's great. You should try it.
Oh man, patchouli. If you've ever wondered what old olive oil and dirt smelled like.
I still have no idea what the fuck a patchouli is. I just know Ven hates it.
It's my fucking garlic, man.
There's like perfume
Oh yeah.
scented like patchouli.
Well, it's just, I wouldn't. It's perfume technically. All right.
Yes, it masks the scent of something.
So
With
is
something worse.
sun roasted mayonnaise is perfume.
How long was the review section? 'Cause the video I recorded was like 27 minutes till the game crashed.
Picture was spot on. Albino yellow snow. CocaineVoltron.com. Vote people.
Yes.
Trend user. I might be able to do something with that. Let's see. Chairs.
Ask your mom and ask your dad for chairs.
21 minutes, 50 seconds.
Awesome. Okay.
So
we not long enough to catch the crotch. That's,
You can time it to just have the crash at the end where I just opened up Get It and said, then, well, fuck you too then.
no, man, I'm just going to like clip out like that 4 seconds and just loop it in the background the entire time. With a review upside down and run a pixel filter over it.
yeah, and then add some dubstep.
Yeah.
You can actually chop a bit from the beginning because I got a bit of the intro. The stupid intro with the truck.
I skipped that. I could not be bothered.
I played the damn game for like 15 minutes, which was like 6 times of dying for me. Then I was like, I don't care. Then I went back and sit and read through the intro up until that point. I was like, give me something to care about. And this game's like, no.
No.
It's the most generic bullshit story we could come up with.
Story.
Yeah, no, I started playing it, and I figured, I might as well get a little bit at the intro, so I let it sit for like 30 seconds and then skipped it. And then about 27 minutes later, the game crashed because I died.
No. It does that sometimes.
Yeah, it's been doing that every time I die since that.
See,
first
I
time.
want to release a game on Steam that like just straight up causes a kernel panic whenever you die.
Shadow Warrior? What?
No, because you don't die when that crashes.
That's not a kernel panic exactly. It's just a module dropping out and the kernel going, okay, guess we're stopping
it's
right
a
here.
fucking hard lock, because usually kernel panics will do something.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking spectacular, P-Man.
The easiest way to identify a kernel panic nowadays, it's because your caps lock LED will start flashing.
Well,
Yeah, no.
I come from the days of
it was-
Linux before we had these fancy, sparkly, journaled file systems. So anytime I get a legitimate hard lock, I get Vin sweats, man. I'm like, oh, I know it's going to reboot. Nothing's going to be crazy, but I'm just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, ext4 is actually pretty good with that.
Well, it's actually one of the nice things about BTRFS too, is it'll tell you like, hey, this file is fucked up.
Unless you're Strider. If you're Strider, you'll
Well,
just...
I mean, if you're Strider, the second you start using BTRFS, your processor catches fire.
Yeah. It's the one thing Strider can't get to work really well for him, because apparently he can manage everything else to work really
Pedro,
well.
you have not figured out the system yet? If he hates it, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Which is why he's a real big enemy of the genocide in Darfur. Yeah.
LGC cares, ladies and gentlemen.
Please don't ban his Twitch.
All right. Let me go get a little bit of extra sports water, and we'll put a bow on this thing.
Alright.
Yeah, I grabbed a shot of good medicine, so I'm good to go.
All right.
One thing that genuinely impressed me with Ubuntu Mate, now that I've been using it for a month, basically, Mate's
Is-
gotten pretty good. Because I remember
Well-
using Mate when it first came out, when they first started like forking everything GNOME 2. It was busted.
Yeah, now that they've gotten back to that good old classic GNOME 2 level of stability.
Yeah. It's actually pretty damn good.
I was fucking around with Compton on the TV box, though, with Mate. And it does not play nice with Steam when you're alt-tabbing.
I can give you my Compton conf file. Everything.
I'll take a look at it.
Strider, I thought you needed a fleas in order to accomplish that.
You need empty bottles, man. Yes, I too make my computer unable to boot when I completely reformat the file systems. I don't need those pesky operating system files. What are you talking about?
Always getting in the way.
Just taking up hard drive space, right?
Oh, E17. I wanted that to be a thing.
Enlightenment.
Something that you'll never reach.
In 3, 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, yeah, you can see it coming. It's the hate mail. Yes, my personal favorite time of the show. And apparently, I have been doing an alright job at, saying that every time a developer contacts us, you should totally read what Ven has put in big bold letters at the top there saying, send us keys. 3 of them. There's like usually 3 of us here, so if you don't, we'll just make fun of you. But hey, if you don't have a game or project that you'd like to promote and you just want to get in touch with us, you can just fill out the form. Just pick whether you want to send some hate mail for Linux Gamecast Weekly or some feedback for LWDW or Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays. We should totally change the name of that. Come on.
No, never.
But you can also leave us some hate mail if you see this video posted on YouTube or on Patreon or wherever else. Just track down the original post, leave us a comment there. Chances are, if it's good enough, we will provide some proper hate mail. Yes, so this week, let's get into the person, Mr. Matt. He actually got in touch with us, and he sent us keys for his game. He says, my name is Matt from Two Hit Studio, and we're about to release Fatal Theory to Steam, Windows, Mac, and Linux. Fatal Theory is a nostalgic beat-em-up action game where you play as Nick Mayhem, nothing subtle, who wastes no time picking up a baseball bat and taking it to the streets when the forces of hell invade a city. Exercise your carnage muscle by smashing through huge hordes, yes, that font is fucking with my brain, of unlovable fiends and take your crummy city back from the clutches of the demon army. Thanks for your time. Feel free to contact us about any questions or interviews. Cheers, Matt from Two Hit Studio. So, here you go, Matt. This is your time.
They actually sent us keys, too, so that's why we're reading this.
Yes.
Hey, also available on Desura.
Well, I mean, if you just want the money to go nowhere.
Right. I mean, yeah, you guys might want to update that business. No, that was kind of refreshing to actually see everything done properly. So, yeah, there's your little plug. Check it out. I loaded it up. Controller didn't work out of the box, so that's about as far as I got, to be honest with you. Pedro, did you try it out?
I did not. You said that they'd sent us keys and you put them in the doc file, but I never got around to it.
It's so good, I'm grasping my back in agony.
So, our favorite person from Bangladesh, Owen, writes in, very succinctly, it's something we don't normally get on this show. Planet Nomads game Linux, good yes or good no question mark. Need info, comma. Much, very. Remember, kids, don't drink and hate. Or
What are you talking about? Always drink and hate. Always.
Yes.
No, I'm going to assume. I'm going to a bit of a stretch organ here. And so you're talking about the Planet Nomads thing, that is the Besiege in Space, right? With the
Yeah, it's the one that had, like, the demo was literally just Besieged in Space. But the game itself is trying to be what No Man's Sky promised to be, but turned out
with a
not
single
to.
world, no space exploration. Yeah, you jogged
They
my
will
memory
have
with the
space
Besiege
exploration at one point, but yeah, they don't have it.
Yeah, man, they're going to put a moon up there, right?
They say that you will eventually be able to explore other planets, but first they want to get just the basic
And wouldn't it be
mechanics
kind of
down.
like
So
fucked up if like you could see like Kerbal ships and shit flying around and exploding in the atmosphere?
Yeah, I want
That's
to see. I want
exactly
to see
what they're going
Plutonians.
for.
We need to go up against the quad laser.
But yeah, right now during the alpha, they are limiting people to just one planet so they can get all the basic mechanics down. It's a good idea.
I looked at it and they're like, "Hey, you can get on the alpha," and I was like reading. I was like, maybe we need to do it for the show for a low price of $80
Yeah,
what?
that's the thing. That's a pretty big asking price right then and there. I will have to send them an email at one point, see if they'll send us keys. But yeah, $80, that's a bit much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Also, yeah. I don't know. I also get a bit of Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts vibes from it, but the less said about that game, the better.
Ukulele is coming. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Cue the ukulele, because you can always find us around 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Type that in the Googs, it'll figure it out, and we will be there with our horrible disfigured faces. I'm at Vinstone on the Twitter net. Scream at me there, and I'll scream back at you. One thing, I don't collect followers, so if I don't add you back, it's, if you don't post anything, I normally don't follow you. That's just how it is. Plus Vinstone on the G+, the same rules apply.
Yeah, I'm Jordan Swung. You can find me somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, at the Burning Fool on Twitter, or plus Jordan Swung on Google+.
And going off of Jordan's thing, plagiarism at his finest, I am Pedro Mateos. You can find me somewhere over the rainbow. Way
Go fuck
up.
yourself, Pedro. Be original for once. God damn it.
Hey, man. Listen, we spent a lot of money to make our own 10 Pedro.
But hey, you can always find me at unaccounted for on Twitter or plus Pedro Mateos on Google+.
If he only had a brain.
Never.
Yeah, that's what they say. Don't think with your brain. Wait.
Don't think with your head. Think with your other head.
No. Be like a lobster. Have your brain like directly connected to your intestines. All you get are shit ideas.
Well, you know the type of life forms that we are evolved colon first, which makes sense because a couple million years later, and we're still talking out our asses.
There's nothing but shit coming out of our mouths.
That just gave my cancer.
It's true though. Life on Earth evolved colon first.
It's a tumor growing on a tumor.
That's how most of my dance moves start out.
Taking a squat on the
Colon
ground.
first.
Yeah.
All right, we'll hang out for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab.
It has to be a really short bit because I have to be up.
Yeah,
Kind of early.
you can hang out while Jordan does a thing. Then,
Yeah, I'll be back for like 15 minutes.
as I open up all the bullshit here, so I can get everything aligned.
Yeah.
So
I know. Go on.
What's going on this week? Somebody's pregnant, having a baby. What?
One of Nori's childhood friends is, well, she got married and she had a baby, so now she's getting it baptized. And for some reason, they decided to invite me.
Me and you have two different sets of fucking principles.
They're her friends. If they were my friends, I'd just tell them to fuck off, but they're her friends.
Yeah, there's no situation to where anybody that even remotely fucking knew me was like, outside of like, I want to get laughed at today, would approach me and be like, hey, we're going to go dip our kid in water. And I was like, do you want me to call protective services on you?
Look, they're offering me like lunch and a little afternoon tea if we decide to stick around for that long. So I'm going to take it.
I was like, oh yeah, man, you're going to go see a half-drowned baby and then they feed you afterwards, man.
Yeah, you keep me fed, you keep me with a relatively mild amount of alcohol in my blood. We're good.
Mm-hmm. You should bring some bath salts.
I always got a little gift to give the mother of the child. Because the child is nowhere near old enough to realize what the fuck it's doing.
Here's your receipt for a functioning uterus.
Yeah, apparently, according to what Nori told me, they've known each other since, like, they were 3.
You keep saying it like it means something, man.
It means something to her. I kind of want to spend the rest of my life with Nori because I really like her.
Keep doubling down. That's going to make the loneliness even more bitter, man.
So, yeah, I'll put up with a baptism once in a fucking blue moon. But it better be the one.
like I said, turnover. I'm holding off for me personally buying Rocket League.
Turnover, hit me up on Steam like tomorrow evening.
Yeah, because Pedro is going to stream quite a bit of Rocket League tomorrow to make up for not being here for the after show.
Well, not tomorrow, but Monday, yes. That was the plan.
All day Sunday.
No. Only if it's next week's Sunday, and even then, I don't think anyone wants a hungover me streaming.
Yeah, they do. And I want Nori around you with a loud-ass noisemaker to fuck with you in bright lights.
I'll even do a face cam if she agrees to that.
Super glue your webcam to the top of your forehead, man. It'll work. It'll be like Google Glass.
So you want to see the game and then a really shitty resolution version of the game on the corner?
Yeah, then you're going to put a mirror in front of that. We're going to Inception that shit. Then Nori's going to have a periscope of that.
And just have the birds sit on top of the periscope. So you'd need another mirror from where the periscope is looking to see the birds.
I don't judge. If you can make it happen, do it, man. Yeah, I mean, one of the good things about Rocket League, I guess, is they have multiplayer works.
It does.
And it's seemingly cross-platform, we assume. I don't know anybody who's played with a filthy Windows user, but
According to what I've read, it is. And judging by the game not taking more than like 30 seconds to find a match at any point, yeah.
a lot of 9-year-olds, dude. 9-year-olds.
That's fine. I just want to play the game, and since I've disabled like the voice chat, the in-game voice chat, I can't hear anyone. It's awesome.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like some drawn-out bullshit science rant that we normally get into, and we just need to jump into a game and just start discussing that while playing another team. Are black holes really back doors to our galaxy? Discuss. So, they're thinking about making an Alien Nation reboot. We have lived that long.
Alien Nation, that's the ones with the spotty heads?
Yeah. You racist? Yeah. Uh-huh.
I remember, like, the one thing I remember about that show is,
Dude,
like...
listen, man, I don't know what you have against chemo patients with birthmarks, but...
No. So one of the only thing I remember about that show is that I see there's the human main character and one of the aliens like go out, and there's a big sign saying no aliens, and you see one of the spotty heads ones. I remember that. For some reason, that's stuck in my brain.
I'm surprised you're just so racist you don't call them space Dalmatians.
What about space dogs with high cancer rates?
We were talking about the Alien Nation
Alien
reboot.
Nation, yes.
Yeah.
Is it a reboot or is it just a continuation?
No, they're going to reboot the movie. I was like, oh, do the series. I'd like to see an actual, like, darker take on the TV series. That was watchable back in the day. Sponsored by Ford Taurus. All cars are Ford Tauruses.
Oh, yeah. All right, Jordan's back. See you guys. Chat Realm, if anyone wants to join, there's a free channel. Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna rock on until about 1 and then nope.
Yeah, we can hang out for about another 15 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. That's the plan, so I can go curl up in a ball and die.
It'll feel better in the morning. No, it won't.
I hope it feels like manageable in the morning. Fuck. Because that's the worst thing. Like, it exacerbates overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And you wake up and you're just like, okay, time to get at it. No, everything is pain.
That's one we need to put some more time into.
I should ask the lady I'm seeing to teach me how to play that, because she knows.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lethal League, that's definitely right through a review.
Yeah, actually, yes, I agree. The game's fun. No, I'm terrible at it.
So LGC, you mean the Linux Gaming Consortium?
Yeah.
Reverse LGC?
It's the mirror LGC.
Hmm.
Their Pedro is actually Mexican. But they make fun of him for being Portuguese.
If we have anyone in Mexico listening that would like to be on the show, we need a...
Please!
We got a bit, if you would like to,
You want a game key? You want to play some Serious Sam BFE? Hit us up. Strider is le confused, as is Steve.
If we get another Pedro from, like, Guatemala,
Oh man!
just do an
If
all
we could
Pedro
get
show.
like the Nicaraguan Pedro and the
Oh, Cuban Pedro.
yeah, we get the rotating cast of Pedros. Oh, we need to get the Brazilian Pedro. That'll piss him off.
Oh, this speaks better English.
Yes. And then the Pedro from Spain.
Que?
And then just get like an Inuit Pedro for good measure.
An Inuit Pedro. He's just on satellite phone hunting a whale.
Yeah, just clubbing some seals.
Yeah, in LA. It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Oh. Lighten back. Nothing like yours. Mine's just stiff from sitting in.
Yeah. No, when I was going to the kitchen, I had a second there where like one of my legs is like, no, we're not supporting weight anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, I haven't sat down yet.
That happens, man. Like sometimes you get up and your legs is like, it's up for it, man. It just needs a minute to think about it. It is like, wait a minute, if I don't get on this is gonna hurt. I better,
Yeah.
I better leg. I was like, there we go. So we got Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays coming up, surprisingly on Wednesday.
Really? I thought it was going to be on Glur's Day.
That would have been the ultimate fuck you for that show, wouldn't it? Be on like Tuesday.
Yeah.
Just glad.
Linux Weekly Daily Wednesday on Friday.
Friday. Here's Friday, 8 p.m.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. There's a massage place near here too, but I think I want to get a if this is like as bad as it is tomorrow, I think I'm gonna go get an X-ray or something.
I mean, they will definitely give you some happy pills if you walk in like back hurt.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, would you like some medical grade heroin? Here you go.
Bonus soda.
Right.
In handy dandy pill form, gimme.
And easy child friendly sizes.
Oh yeah, no, it comes in a chewable flavored tablet. Yeah.
Shaped like a cartoon.
Yes, fucking Flintstones Vicodin. They totally need to make that. If they don't already, they have to.
That's awesome.
Chewable fucking Vicodin tablets.
Votes Fang.
I will make it happen, ladies and gentlemen.
What is 3 p.m. in Space Australia? Or is it 12, 13 hours?
Yeah, I think it's 14
Yeah, all right.
hours.
Technically, it's Thursday. I'm like thinking Thursday like day, and I'm like, no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the big fuck you to Australia, right? That's why. That's why it airs when it does on.
I know, like
on
4
Wednesday.
o'clock is like 6 something in the morning. It depends on which
Yeah.
coast.
Yeah, because Australia has a couple time zones.
I was there was something I was listening to or watching last night. There were documentary. Go figure, right?
Right.
There was some Russian guy who's like, "Oh, you have to remember much size of Russia." He's like, "America has 3 time zones. Russia, we have 12."
Yeah, Australia has one of those like fucked up half-hour time zones too.
Oh, one of those fuck you because that's why.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, no, we're a half an hour off. Why?
It's like, do we really need those?
Do you need the extra half hour?
Or just
Really?
the time zone?
Is it that critical? And the answer, of course, is yes. Absolutely, 100%. Can't live without it.
East
People
Coast
will
GMT
literally
plus
die.
10. All right, I don't play D&D. What the fuck's that mean, man?
GMT?
I
Greenwich
know
Mean?
Greenwich Mean Time plus 10, yes.
Yeah. I mean, if you're talking about a plus 10 CMB, I can tell you what that's about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh. That's if you want to put someone in an arm bar. Or trip them. That's when you deal with the CMB. Oh, man.
What
Oh, nothing. I'm just saying things.
things?
I'm making noise.
Good noise.
Partly to distract myself from the pain. Partly to keep y'all entertained.
So
Partly 'cause
it's
I'm
just
scrolling
like
out.
any other after show. Got it.
Yeah. Oh man. Plex. Yeah, so I have the theme song to The Wire stuck in my head, but I can't remember the lyrics, so I made up my own. And you know, if you're not paying attention, Jesus is gonna stab you in the neck and the taint. So watch out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a blues song, but they do like a different version of it every season.
So I got one episode of... Wait. No, I'm done with Dark Matter. Jesus.
You have one episode of Breaking Bad left to watch, and by that I mean all of the episodes of Breaking Bad.
There's more Halt and Catch Fire, so I guess I could watch that.
I think there's one episode of Mr. Robot I haven't caught yet. I think that's.
I still gotta watch Stranger Things. I didn't even get to that yet. Or True Detective. I've...
Season 1's good. I didn't watch season 2.
The Strain's back, which is really good. I enjoy that. And Outcast. All right, I might watch that tonight.
What's this one? This is about Andre 3000.
It's on Skinamax.
Outcast. Oh right, it's the Robert Kirkman one.
Strider, I Can Still Dream.
Yeah, we were talking about that. The fucking French version of the Wire theme. It's like the French version of the A-Team theme. Da, 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 da.
Floss Weekly is all right. I mean, it's kind of background noise, but it's kind of our job for our Wednesday show. So,
Oh, Data's in that show. Outcast.
oh, he is
Yeah,
Brent Spinner.
yeah.
Huh. Then I guess I really will watch it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Wikipedia page for it.
Okay. Inspector
And
Rex.
yeah, he's the only fucker I recognize. I don't know the rest of these people. The main actor's name is Fugget. And that's hilarious.
Oh, right. You can't open new GIMP files with old GIMP.
Yes.
Damn it. Janet.
Damn it, Janet.
Oh my... What? God damn it, I'm going to regret this.
Oh no.
La gare, faut pas me pousser trop loin, tu vois, et faut pas me chercher, même si je...
La Hombre que... Demolition? No. The stunt guy?
The man who falls.
Fall guy.
Cascadeur, j'ai quand même l'amour dans le cœur, je préfère jouer au tombeur que jouer...
Yep. Yeah. My French is shit. Hello.
Oh, the fall guy. Oh, from Glenn Larson, who brought you such hits as Battlestar Galactica and Galactica 1980.
Fuck all, man. Let's just pretend that last episode never happened and just bring it back as was.
I'm talking about OG but BSG.
Either way. Oh, the one they have on Netflix has like it's like the remastered version. I don't know if it has new special effects or some shit like that in it. But it's alright. I watched one or two episodes.
That'd be fucked up if it's like classic BSG with like new BSG effects.
They did that with Star Trek TOS.
They did, but I mean, I'm talking about like some of the crazy dogfights from like new BSG.
Oh yeah, and it cuts to him inside the ship and it's all cardboard and shit, then it just cuts back.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
It'd be brilliant. I'd buy it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That would be pretty fucked up. I'd watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, I didn't say it would be fucked up in a bad way now, did we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool, man. So,
Yeah, maybe I should go back and rewatch almost all of Battlestar Galactica.
I'm due. Do you hear me, Netflix? Put all that shit back on. That was my Stargate before they put all the Stargates on Netflix and my Amazon Prime because they had Battlestar Galactica, like the full fucking series on there forever. And I was like, bzzz, pick series, boom, pick episode, just watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was into that like when the miniseries aired. I'm like, oh man, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, you're like, well, what the hell's this doing on Sci-Fi Channel?
It was on like the same. It was on Global when I watched it, which is like the.
Well, you have
like,
Global, then you have what is it? Just Space, right?
Space, yeah. It was on Space too, but they also aired it on like the regular TV channel that had like your generic like normie shows.
Then NBC tried to buy it from Sci-Fi Channel, which is good they didn't because they would have been like, oh, it lost 2 viewers, let's cancel it.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Oh man, now I just want to go watch Battlestar Galactica. I need some Adama, man.
Some Adama boxing. What's his name?
Yeah, Ty and
Ty.
Lee and
Lee.
yeah, because wasn't he boxing his son too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was a really good show. God damn it.
It's a good show, man. It was good times. It was murderous. I think
Fantastic soundtrack too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Bear McCreary knocked it out of the park.
I was dating a lass, and it was kind of sci-fi. You know, a little bit of stuff. She was getting her doctorate in literature, some bullshit like that. And whatever. And she knew, she's like, what is this? I explained to her. I was like, yeah, it's a space soap opera. That's what I watch.
No, it's my space stories.
This is back in our old townhouse. And she's like chilling out in the living room. I was like, yeah, this is the Battlestar. I'm going to go like watch that. Like boom, like plop down, cut up the speakers. And I was watching on the PC. And it was like previously on Battlestar. And I just hear cackling from the living room. She's like, oh my god, you really do watch a fucking space soap opera, don't you? I was like, yeah, fuck off. And I'm going to continue watching it.
It's an awesome space soap opera.
Right?
Like, you sit down and watch this, and you tell me you didn't enjoy that.
Fair point. And
well,
we'll all just pretend Caprica never happened.
Yeah, we really needed some blood and chrome though.
Oh man,
that would have been awesome.
Fucking make it. It's not like you have to use the same actors. Just you got the plot.
Ven and I fucking bonded over that shit.
Yeah, man. That was. I mean, just give me the early Dama years. Yes.
Yeah, do it.
Done.
Do it. Like some Cylon War shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Got some Ty. Colonel Ty shows up, man.
Yeah, like have like young versions of fucking everyone.
Yeah.
Cause like all throughout BSG, you heard a lot of talk about like how these guys were like awesome commanders and soldiers. Let's fucking see that.
Exactly. Babylon 5. Yeah, come on, let's have Babylon 13. Bring that back.
Well, for a while in the mid 2000s, they were still pumping out Babylon 5 movies.
Yeah, but man, that green screen set piece budget got pretty fucking slim there.
I never watched any of the movies, to be honest. I just watched the show.
I think I've watched all the movies because I got into Battlestar Galactica late.
Or Babylon 5 or Battlestar?
Yeah, Babylon 5.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I think it was on Sci-Fi, like, or some bullshit cable channel, like 24/7. I mean, it came on like 4 times a day, so it was really easy to catch up on.
Yeah, that was Stargate for me. Like, it was on at like 4 o'clock. It was on at like they'd give you a couple hours of Stargate a day, and so I just watched that. That was my exposure to Stargate.
Stargate's good stuff.
Stargate is good stuff.
So we've rocked over to 101. We hate to cut this short, but Jordan is about to die. He's in clear pain. And
bye, guys.
I can't contain my joy and put on a straight face anymore.
I mean, you can only hide that erection for so long.
Right. Oh, man.
Then we'll be back on Wednesday with Pedro and Strider if he's awake.
It will be brilliant. Until then.
Yeah.